even your own MPL, your own region thinks this way. It's time to prove them wrong. Let's start with the draft. It's RSGSG on the play and Occupy Thrones answering back. Nothing here out of the ordinary. There's the Joy and there's the Glue. Public enemy number 1.
These heroes have been very, very aggressive. And I think right here, the main win condition, the main thing that a lot of teams are contesting in the drafting phase is that lane pressure. If you can have dominant laning phase, that means you can have a lot of control around the map as well. And that is how you get superior rotations that will get you an edge in that control game.
Yeah, right now looking at the bans, I kind of feel like because of yesterday, Glue might be permanent banned because of how oppressing it is. Even if you have a counter for it, it really doesn't matter. So Glue has been banned. Carry as well has been banned. So this is very interesting because Carry is like an S tier pick for the Gold League. The fact that they banned it out means that they have a different prior for first pick, and they really understand that right now Carry is super strong as a second pick because Carry already prepares herself to counter any kind of tanky hero, so it really doesn't matter. And countering Carry kind of forces you to use like burst mages and an EXP lane that can go to the back line. So for now, RSGSG looks like they have a very clear idea of the meta. And the way that Occupy is just answering is like, okay, these heroes are too strong, let's just get rid of them.
Well, they go for the Kaja as well here. A lot of wave clear, and of course, a lot of pick-up potential if they want to try and take advantage of RSG and that vulnerable early game we've been talking about. So for RSG, we have to wonder, are they going to try and get something that provides a lot of protection, a lot of safety to ensure that the early game can be mitigated?
I can't put myself in Coach Sander Luca's mind just yet, but I think I know what Coach Mundo's thinking. By banning up the Glue and the Kaja, you're open to split the map because the opponent's team fights are not as strong. Neither are yours. And I think that's very, very in character when it comes to Maro and to a Fury's playstyle. A lot are going to hedge on that main artery in mid. Because again, you can't extend the game if your mid gets pummeled.
Looking at this, I kind of feel like for both teams, whatever their first pick is going to be, it will really set up the tempo for the game. Because right now, RSGSG, they have the first pick, and I like that you pointed out because Glue and Kaja has been banned. Then the side lanes might be something that Occupy wants to take advantage of. So ban out the Fanny because we saw yesterday that Fanny can be countered. It's not like a sure win if you get a Fanny, but for RSG, they're like, okay, Fanny is so difficult to deal with if you can get the purple buff and then put pressure on the side lane. So right now, being the first pick, in terms of prio, what do you really want as your first win condition? Either damage or engagement. And here it looks like they're playing it a little bit safe by picking up the Fredrid, where it doesn't really reveal too much about what they want to do, but it's very safe.
It's so safe that you can put it in the XP lane, you can put it in the jungle, hell, you can roam with it if you want to. But they answer back, Beatrix putting it in the hands of Gado, so their gold lane is safe.
Ooh.
And they go ahead, Maro, take the show. This is a very conventional way to approach a match.
But now, going to try and go for those engages, those pickoffs, those Wave the Dragon plays with a Fredrin in the mix. It's going to be very difficult, and I think crowd control is a big factor here for both these teams. It can be used by RSG to stave off that aggression, and of course for Occupy Thrones, with enough crowd control, they can make sure that despite RSG's best efforts, they won't be able to escape from the engages.
Something tells me Valentina is off the order, right? It's so safe. Like, I have the Way of the Dragon, should be enough for me.
I got to talk about numbers, man, because Joe and Beatrix have been used a few times yesterday, but 0% win rate. Because for now, it looks like whoever is playing the Beatrix, they really favor the Bennett, the bombs that she puts out. And the damage doesn't seem to be enough. And it looks like, they're going for an Eve as well as a Lolita. This kind of shows what they're trying to do. I see AoE crowd control. I see AoE damage. And for the side of Occupy, they have someone to lock it down. So if Eve is not careful, she might get kicked into the team fight.
And honestly, I think that...
Oh, that high!
All right. That's the kind of jungler Leo is. Very rarely will you see Leo play a carry
really, Leo?
jungle. Yeah.
Oh.
Leo, like...
Oh, now I know.
Thrones, yeah. A lot of their games hedge on the fact that Leo, Maro, and Fury need to help Gado get to the late game. So this is completely in character, unless they've learned something in the past week. Something new.
This is a big concern, though. We've seen that movement speed and slows having a huge weapon. If you can't get to your enemies, then you can't even begin to engage. With a Yeep in the picture, especially with such a vulnerable marksman in that Beatrix, there's a possibility that RSG will be able to zone him completely in any of the mid to late game fights.
Yeah, these two alone, the Fredrin and the Lolita, it's going to be hard for Gado to do anything.
I would say this kind of already shapes out their draft because I'm looking at RSG and it looks like what they want to do is they want to control the river side because a lot of team fights is going to happen there during the turtle fight, during the lord fight. They want to make sure that any kind of river fights they can win because Eve has the perfect range for the fights in river, same as Lolita. And when you compare that to what Occupy is trying to do, it looks like they're kind of setting up for a very, very high damage dealer like a Beatrix, and then everyone else just protect the Beatrix. So it's kind of like a hyper composition where you put all your eggs in one basket. So looking at this, clear win condition, fight in the river or fight as a team. Very easy to execute. And for the side of Occupy, protect the Beatrix and whoever their mid laner their mid laner is going to be.
Yeah.
And then just try to win off of that. And it becomes like, who can execute better?
It's either the Farsa or the Valentina. That's what the mid lane is looking like for Occupy Thrones or a Lilia.
A Kadira, perhaps.
The Lilia looks a little better now given that there's a Lolita on RSG.
That is true. I mean, for RSG right now, they still have yet to secure a gold laner, and they will require some serious DPS if they want to bank everything on the counter engage. Because for the side of Occupy Thrones, they have a lot of crowd control. They can cancel out that Numeron Blast as well. So RSG needs to position very, very carefully if they want to find success.
Yeah, there's a solid 2 picks for CC. So they can scramble. Again, they have the way to buy time. But the question is that going to be enough? Because they just need one more. A marksman. Yeah. Marksman for RSG and they're set.
Actually, looking at RSG, it would be kind of nice for me personally if they just pick up the Valentina. Wait, it's not Van, right? Yeah, pick up the Valentina still as a jungler because now you got Akai's ult. You got Joe's ult.
That's it, worth it.
Yeah, it's just take the Akai, right? Like it's really good right now. And the Xavier has been picked up. And for RSG, they don't have a clear way to dive in the backlines.
Yeah, but
what if they pick up like a Leomord jungle?
They still can, and that would allow them to have a comeback in the late game because I gotta say, Occupy Thrones, very late game centric right now. Unless they snowball so good that they give all of the objectives over to Leo, and then God and Fury just have a fine time just going ahead and taking their lanes, mid and gold.
My concern right now is with the Savior pick, that's a lot of crowd control, kind of. It's a lot of poke damage. But will he get in range to actually do that? Can he even catch up if the members of RSG try and just negate that presence and just move away from the team fight?
About 6 months ago, we tested this in beautiful Kuala Lumpur.
Oh, yes.
The Bulwark actually blocks a lot of what Saber's dropping. So that's a nice interaction. I'm not sure how Occupy is looking to deal with that. But here's the jungler. They have revealed it. Unless it's a switcheroo. We're looking at Fredrin jungle or Martis jungle from RSG.
I would prefer Martis in this situation because you can basically avoid the crowd control coming in from Occupied Thrones and really put pressure on the Xavier because I kind of feel like Xavier can do a lot if space is provided. So their draft is really following what they want to do. They got a Cho, they got a Akai. So if anyone wants to engage, good luck. We have a lot of ways to heal for our damage dealers. But I kind of feel like,
oh, there we go.
You call that the Kadita. So again, like I said, what I'm looking at right now, Occupied Thrones control the map. This is in their keys to victory.
Oh, yeah.
Control the map, control the bushes, make sure that no one touches your damage dealers, win the game, profit.
I now eat my words. They have evolved. They have changed. This game can end at about 17, 18 if they do it right. Yes, there is a lot of demand of gold and the XP in the Beatrix and the Savior, but with the Kadita in the hands of Maro, this could just go under.
That is just another factor for RSG to consider, and with the wave clear on the side of Occupied Thrones and the crowd control, they can actually look to have a very dynamic, a very aggressive early game, and you have to wonder, will that aggression be taken into the jungle?
Likely so, because again, between the Akai and the Martis, Lafel, I'm not sure if this is what you were referring to, but it's usually still the Akai's call.
Yeah.
That ult overrides whatever Martis is doing.
Yeah, and right now we're going straight into the first game of the day between RSGSG and Occupied Thrones.
Ladies and gentlemen, keep your eyes on Maro. It's the way that this Kadita will behave that will allow Occupied Thrones to, I don't know, beat their inner demons of becoming a late game team and eventually taking form here at M4.
Ooh, the early game is going to be slow as usual, but we have to see where are both junglers going to path towards, because that will decide how it's going to happen. And of course, the mid lane control is going to be contested from both these players, both these teams, to try and ensure that they have the first move, the first rotation in the game.
Fast clear here for Fury and Maro, but what will the rotation be? Folks, confirmed it is a jungle Martis and then Diablo and the Fredrin in the XP. Oh, this is about to blow up.
Oh, but look at a lot of them actually getting crowd control. Diablo goes in and Maro taking a bit of damage, but I kind of feel like this is the direction that both teams want to go. Control the mid, control the riverside, because you want some kind of advantage going into the turtle fight.
Well, we'll have to see. I mean, both teams, they're trying their best to actually get a lead first, because before the turtle actually spawns later on, they can use that to try and get a bit of a play, a bit of a lead in numbers and HP bars, and that is what will allow them to get a very guaranteed objective take.
So far, about a minute and a half in, and we are still at 50-50. Equilibrium gold. Very little difference here. 150, 30 between each. And even the maximum matchup, look at this, Arashi. It's still Gado and Babycakes waiting for that big rotation.
Usually you see that the Beatrix has a bit of an edge in the laning phase, but again, it's always a skill matchup. As you can see, is going for a big play, but Lolzy is forced to use that flicker defensively. That will mean that it won't be up for the play in the turtle coming up now in 9 seconds.
For me personally, that was super necessary because that was a very, very good catch. But right now, Leo, I kind of feel like he already showed his face. Diablo right now attacking Leo. Leo is going very, very low. And first blood onto Bray.
The Decimate doing work.
That's a lot of damage, and unexpectedly, RSG are the ones aggressing, and now with the members' advantage, their triggers are kind of low, so they're taking it a bit slow, and right now, it just seems like the patience we've been talking about is showing again for RSG.
Yep, RSG just knows how this dance goes, and the clapback from Occupy Thrones is Maro doing his best to keep things under control. He's trying to reset or hold back the turtle so that RSG doesn't convert as quick. I wonder if they can still catch up, because look, purple for Leo. Can they stop Bray?
Ooh, Maro goes in with the rough waves as well, though. The Rune Collision is being used by the side of RSG, but the turtle will be picked up by Bray. Right now, they're trying their best, but that will be RSG taking out 2 members from the side of Occupy Thrones, and Bray is still not letting Leo off. That will be a very decisive fight for RSG.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate because Hulk, he actually went in, but there was hesitation. He could have caught anyone, but he was like, I don't know which target I want to focus on. And then he was heavily punished. Now, I like teams with aggression, but actually, I like how RSG is playing this. It looks like they understand. They don't have to put their foot on the metal. It's like, we can take it slightly slow because we know that Occupy will be the one to engage. We just wait.
It's controlled aggression, but will they catch Babycakes up top?
Ooh, the snipe barely misses Babycakes. He is able to escape. Purify has been used, so the members from Occupy Thrones can look for a bit of follow-up. For now, it won't be happening.
No harm, no foul. As long as Babycakes is not dying, these early game purifiers are worth it.
Yeah, but right now it looks like Occupy Thrones, they're kind of like trying to set something up here at the marksman lane. And they're kind of like taking it very slow because RSG is already here and Lolzy tries to engage. Looks like both teams are waiting for a sign of weakness from each other. Look at Babycakes!
Maro goes in with that rough waves and the petrify as well, but Babycakes is still able to survive. Definitely not the outcome that Occupy Thrones want.
All right, folks, real quick, that is not attack and defense that our tanks are rocking. That's actually concussive blast.
It's just like a blast in the past, you know. Like some people really miss the design of attack and defense. I'm one of those guys, but we got to move forward.
You just like how it looks like.
I just like how it looks. And right now, RSG, it looks like they have a 1.4 goal lead. Babycakes just finished his Demon Hunter sword. And the thing about Claude is, in the test servers, he was too strong that they had to nerf him. So I'm really looking forward to see how RSG is going to execute on this. And it looks like a kick is going to happen.
Diablo gets engaged on, but now he is alone. He is actually holding his ground against 2 members from Occupy Thrones. And that'll be a lot of resources burnt before the turtle is even up.
Again, you see here that either hesitation or a communication gap between them because Maro was so far off.
Exactly, yeah. It looked like it was a prime opportunity to get a punish, and Leo is taking a lot of damage, Leo.
Diablo goes in with the Apprentice's Wrath, but now it does seem like Occupy Thrones will be forced to back away from the turtle.
Oh, you meant me. But still,
I'm sorry.
That's about 100% turtle take rate for RSG. They are in control of the map. And again, Occupy Thrones, they tried in the draft to show us that, hey, we're not that late game team anymore. But they seem like they're out of their element.
in my personal opinion, they gotta talk to each other, because right now it's like everyone has their own plan of doing what was gonna happen next, but no one's really on the same page. And going up against RSG, that's not what you want to see. If they are comfortable in the late game, then try to farm up as much as you can. Wait for 7 minutes. Try to see if you can fight the Lord, and if you can't fight, then find some kind of farm. Because looking at the items here, Beatrix is starting off with a corrosion side, which is kind of odd, because usually we see the Blade of Despair first.
You see a bit of a duo in the EXP lane, though.
The fighting game down there.
Exactly. But Mlbb has been very active in just making sure that his team has some vision, has some security, and that allows Babycakes to be farming really well. But now he might just pay the price. What is being used, the Blazing Duet is being used by Babycakes to try and turn back the aggression. He's getting very, very low. But 505 with the reward manipulation, barely out of range though. Members from Occupy Thrones just trying to survive under the turret, trying to find shelter. That will be the dawning light being used onto Bray, as RSG are trying to make sure that they seal the deal, but they won't be able to. Everyone's so low, but they're able to escape.
Oh, Lord. The Fury literally at 1 HP. 1 HP, Grandma, and he's about to go home, and they're not letting go. 405!
Wow.
He was like, I'm not letting you guys through. I see all of the small HPs going around. Grandma is like, no. You're not going home. If you're going home, I'm sending you home. 505. Lozi goes in.
Ooh, no one was being used as well, but Gado will be taken out without any issue. Maro tries to turn back the aggression. Unfortunately, he is the one caught right now in the real-world manipulation. Rosway is being used to escape from this death trap between 3 members. It does seem like actually it doesn't turn around. 505 gets taken out because Leo comes in with the heavy spin, and that will be Occupy Thrones finding some success.
It looks like RSG, they overstayed their welcome, because Leo had so much time to rotate to that lane and actually make a difference. RSG right now have a very, very good turn for themselves, because it's 2.6k. They have a lot of mad pressure. Right now, they just don't make mistakes, because Babycakes, I would say right now, he can join the fight. He has a lot of damage. RSG, they can take advantage of Occupy Thrones being a little bit behind. 2.4k, that's a lot.
Yeah, right there. That's how you see it, right? Babycakes goes in with the BMI and threatening God. Oh no, God is in trouble.
He's very, very low. The Nuan Blast does not land on him, but the Blazing Duet will secure his fate. And on the other side, that is also RSG pulling the trigger. Diablo picking up a kill onto Maro as well. Occupy Thrones. They're just getting caught in these weird fights.
Yeah, 3 different battlefields. The turtle, near the jungle, and then that gold lane. All losses for Occupy Thrones. And look at the conversion. Babycakes, all about business.
Yeah, and the thing is, Occupy Thrones, they tried to attack Bray, but Bray is barely feeling it. That's the jungler. And if they can't take down Bray, if they can't take down Diablo, Lolzy is not looking good, because again, their main win condition is the damage on Gado, on Fury, but they're not being able to dish out damage.
Probably is being contested, and Bray will be picking it up, but actually Maro won't be able to deal enough damage. Diablo just taking in everything in the front. Heavy spin being used to take him back all the way to the back. Occupy Thrones finally secure a kill, but that is so much time.
Straight up, they changed Diablo's zip code, bro. From Singapore to Jakarta. You see how far he went?
All the way to the second turret. That is insane. But actually, they're not just over yet. Bray will be jumped on, and Occupy Thrones finally find some measure of success, but if they take that long to take out the tank, that's going to be a very difficult situation.
I feel like this is something that we can touch on a little bit more in the post-game analysis, because I want to look at the itemization, because if you want to play it for the early game, you have a different itemization. If you want to skill, it's a different kind of itemization. For now, Occupy Thrones, they're really trying to skill. And I think RSG, they realize, like, your items is not good for this stage of the game. I'm going to punish this. We're going to go to your lane, and you try to kill Bray. You try to kill Diablo. Diablo went in. Every single member of Occupy Thrones plus the turret was necessary to take him down.
Oh, can they take down Lolzy?
Maro going in with that rock waves as well, but look at the damage. It's so negligible at this point. And just like that, the aggression has been stopped.
I'm waiting on Fury. There's a lot of promise in the way Fury's throwing those beams. I think there's something here.
I kind of feel like right now it's just the difference of gold, because right now it's 4,000 gold, and 4,000 gold roughly translates to like 1.5 items. So if he's 1.5 item behind, it's not looking good. At this point, they got to wait till level 15 with like 3 core items, and then they can really dish out the damage, because right now, if they try to fight this Lord, I think there is a possibility of getting a wipeout.
for sure. If they engage poorly here, the big AoE composition will be dangerous, but Breath of the Ocean being used only lands on Diablo, not the intended target, and Leo now will be the one caught out. Movement of does not land though, unfortunately for Lolzy, as in the back line, Hulk actually jumps in and tries to deal with 3 members at the same time, but it's just so sporadic all over the place, as Marrow is so far the only casualty, and RSG will be able to take the Lord, but at the cost of 505. Gado though, only alone, trying to make the best of the situation. He is taken out though.
There's a lot of good concepts that OT, Occupy Thrones, are putting on the table, but it looks like they just can't find the timing and the execution to make it all work together.
Well, right now, at 10 minutes, Fury 77 just finished his Lightning Truncheon. And all of you mages, you guys realize when you have the Clock of Destiny and the Lightning Truncheon, that's a big damage spike. But this is 10 minutes, so that's why during the Lord fight, they tried, but it looked like it wasn't enough.
Both those items got buffed recently.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. So
but
Fury
you know, it's like bad just now, but it's getting better now.
Yep.
It's getting much better, so because that's the only advantage they have right now. That range, the snipe and the Dawning Light as well, that is what they can use to try and get an advantage before the fight begins, unless RSG are the ones engaging and going aggressively to the front.
Yeah, it's come to the point where RSG are so confident that they're starting to take jungle. They're going to choke out Leo, choke out Gado.
Oh, that's a Breath of the Ocean, but the Ruffles will come out. That is Maro taken out. What a disaster. Now in a 4v5 situation, they have to defend against the Lord.
And this is a base Lord, right? Number 1 Lord, they got it, what, about a minute and a half ago? I'm expecting at least 1 inhibitor.
Ooh, Leo already pushing forward, trying to zone away, try and buy some time for the rest of the members to try and clear. It won't be enough though, the tower gets taken out, and just like that, RSG, they know their limits, they exert patience yet again, and it's as calculated, as planned for them.
Honestly, with just an Elemental Lord, you already knocked down one of the inhibitors. That is actually quite a big deal. Yeah. RG right now, 8,000 gold ahead, and Baby Cakes just finished his Wind of Nature, making it so that he can actually take some kind of engages from Gado as well as Hulk.
And survive.
And survive.
I think it's a lot to say that, yeah, base Lord, and then you get an inhibitor. They actually also pop the shields on mid and bot.
Oh my, I didn't even realize that.
So the next waves that come in are threats to Occupy Thrones.
That's a dangerous situation for sure, and now they have no control in their jungle, because Diablo, he can do whatever he wants. He is somewhat untouchable in the front because Gado, he went for the corrosion scythe. It's not exactly the ideal item, but Hulk now is the one being jumped on.
Yeah, Sigma male Singaporean mindset.
Yeah.
I just go around, this is it.
Yeah, looking at advance just now, they're excited because, yeah, RSG is looking very, very good. Whereas Occupy Thrones, this is starting to get towards their comfort zone because, like you said, they could do something at 17, 18 minutes. It's reaching there. Once it happens, there is a possibility of getting this game back in their own wave.
But right now, we have to be glass half full kind of people. Because the early game into the mid game, 10 and 4, 8K ahead, are not ideal for this lineup.
And you think about it, Occupy Thrones have a Kadita as well. And if the Kadita isn't doing well, that threat is just so far diminished. No one from RSG is that scared of this Kadita pickup potential.
Yeah, in simple terms, the CC isn't matching the amount of damage that's being dealt. So they have to reconcile that.
So right now, RG, with a very, very good advantage, they really should force out this Lord. If Occupy wants to fight for it, great, amazing. Because especially with the Wind of Nature, he could just go in, try to catch Gado as well as Fury 77. Because once they're gone, they legit don't have to care. They can force it out. And it looks like Occupy Thrones, they understand this. They let this go, and only Gado is down in the bottom side of the map trying to get any kind of farm that he can.
That was their first turret, by the way.
That's the first for everything, you know, so that's, yeah meaningful, yeah.
It's a 14-minute turret, so Occupy Thrones not having a good time, and RSG, they are not showing any chances of allowing them an easier game, but Ray here goes for a bit of a play. Unfortunately, Hulk is just denied at every single turn.
All right, Lafel, you were looking for the items.
Yeah, I'm looking at the items, and I want to talk a lot about Beatrix after the game, because even though the new patch has happened, Corrosion Scythe, big buff, Golden Staff, big buff as well, but Beatrix base, the way that she works is basically every single attack any weapon scales with her total physical attack.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the build she builds right now doesn't have a lot of physical attack, so the damage is less.
Leo in the front alone with the heavy spin, actually able to escape. But look at there, Baby Case going in the back line, he's zoning everyone away from the Lord, from the turrets as well. Just like that, with one single ultimate, Occupied Thrones are pushed back away, but RSG are not done just yet. But the Way of the Dragon is being used. That might be the first pick off. That is a shutdown picked up by Marrow. Golden Staff picked up by Gado in the midst of that fight.
All right, you know what? Glass half full moment.
Yeah.
That was a good defense by Occupied Thrones. They baited out those ults from RSG.
Hey, sometimes we gotta trust our own instincts, man. Like, it could happen because, again, World Championship right now, because now Occupied Thrones, they're starting to scale up. Although, I gotta be critical in saying it was more of RSG kind of overcommitting.
Correct.
Rather than Occupied Thrones really catching their mistakes.
Yeah, are they looking for a concealed play? What is this?
Ooh, Hug just comes in and says hi to
Hello.
Lowsy here.
Hi.
Oh, Baby Case interrupts it. The stun is being used as well. Hug gets chunked very low. RSG with no pleasantries in the Land of Dawn.
Lolzy said hi, and Baby K's like, high five.
To your face.
To your face.
With guns.
With a chair.
And my friend Dexter.
Well, that was a shutdown picked up by Occupied Thrones earlier, so this might be just the breath of fresh air they need to try and mount a comeback.
It helps Fury and Gado catch up. I guess that's what explains them for being in at least the upper half of the player gold stats.
Yeah, right now, like, a lot of things that I'm watching here, like just now, Gado is like number 5 in terms of the amount of gold that he is able to collect, which is not what you want to see from your gold laner. You want to see at least like top 3, right?
Yeah.
And then look at this. Even the damage dealt. Fury's doing good. Fury's doing good. So now he's scaling up. Now it's looking like, okay, there's hope. There is hope.
The hope of Mena. That's Fury.
Oh, but Bray though, no hope available. 1v4 in the jungle of Occupied Thrones. And now RSG try and trade back. Leo though is still alive. And the Breath of the Ocean being used. 2 people getting knocked up. But now it's just sporadic. Diablo is still alive in the front lane. 505 with the real manipulation, trying to just trade back that damage. And Gado will fall as a result. Baby Case chasing something else. But that is a 1-for-1 after such a long turn. That is a jungle for the gold lane though.
Okay, so RSG, now they got to slow down because they've made some mistakes there.
Yeah.
Baby Cakes, honestly, was playing very, very well. He guided a lot of the damage coming in from Occupy, but Break coming in alone, like, maybe that's not the best idea you want to do, especially in the late game, because you got to put into consideration that once you get to the late game, it takes more time for you to respond back into the Land of Dawn. Looking at the replay right here, I want everyone to look where Baby Cakes, he tried to dish out the damage with his ult, but instantly got knocked up. Hulk, in my opinion, he shouldn't be that far ahead alone, because even if he does get in range, he's able to get the Way of the Dragon. It doesn't put them in a position where they can really take anything.
They're going again.
They're still going, and Maro now is the one trying to initiate the play. Breath of the Ocean, but the rough waves won't be enough. Wolsey is still very alive. 1 HP, and Leo will be the victim. And Occupy Thrones, they lose 1 for nothing.
And that's clean. Again, RSG, they got the last 2 major plays and major blunders that they had, and they made up for it. Redemption almost instantly.
Yeah, right now, looking at the lore, this is a Luminous lore, so it's going to hit a little bit harder coming up in the top side of the map. So RSG, they got to manage their waves very, very well. They got to make sure all 3 lanes are crashing at the same time. Right now, it kind of looks like they're a little bit behind because Lord is already pushing, so they got to push it a little bit for the bottom side of the map.
Yep, gotta rush it. And just to say, they could have done better if they waited like maybe 10, 15 more seconds. This would have been an evolved Lord with the static just going around, makes an easier wipe. And look, Gado's gonna defend. Occupied Throne's still in this.
They just take out the Lord, but the empowered waves are still coming in as Baby Case will be able to secure the bottom side base turret. Diablo going in for the engage onto Maro, people. Engage on the engage tool, and it works. Leo has used the heavy spin right now, and RSG, they have all the tools available, all the ultimates still ready for this next tower take.
This is what Akai is so annoying. This is why Akai is so annoying, because it looks like RSG, they really want to go. They really want to end this right here, right now. But every single time Diablo or Bray tries to engage something, Akai's just going to push them away. Either push them away or push them towards his own base. Yep. So right now, RSG, they really want to make sure Lolzy catches this.
Oh, aluminum glass with the flicker being used by Lolzy. And Leo, despite his best efforts, will be pushed away. Baby King taken very low, though, shut down by Gado. And now Leo is able to survive from that very aggressive play. It's a 1-for-0 yet again for Occupy Thrones.
Leo was on a tightrope. He was on the edge there. Could have sworn he was going to die, especially since he doesn't have the ult. Now he just got it. point. I was going to say, depending on how much CDR he has, it
Wow,
could make a
comes in.
difference. Bray!
Leo with the heavy spin will catch Bray out. That's the Immortal being popped for nothing. That is unfortunate. And now with a 50-second death timer, Occupy Thrones have a window.
Dude, I gotta say, man, like our 18, 19-minute timers, like, we know what we're talking about.
From the future.
And right now, Occupy Thrones, they have the items that they need. They're forcing it down mid. Hulk went back, trying to make sure that no backdoor shenanigans will happen with the minions. So right now, RSG, they gotta make sure that Leo is taken care of because Akai, whenever he's so strong, gets banned. Now, not banned, getting picked less and less. But remind us again why it's so annoying. Even when you're losing, you can win.
Yeah, no, it's I'd say one of those absolutes in the world of Mobile Legends. If you don't have the Purify, that heavy spin is going to make all the difference.
Or flicker, honestly, because you can still flicker out even if he pins you down. But the timing is key. Speaking of timing, the Lord is here. If RSG can secure the Lord, and this time make sure that all 3 lanes crashes at the same time, it's good. But it looks like Occupy, they're starting to fight.
Oh, yo. RSG, this is a clean go.
Oh, look at
Gado!
He's so far in front, but it actually isn't going to be working out for them. Maro gets taken out as well. That is 2 of the main carries taken out. RSG Singapore out of nowhere, just getting such a good advantage. Occupy Thrones caught off position.
Why was Gado there, man?
I know.
I mean, like, it's okay if he's there, if you got positions on the map to make sure that he sees what's coming, but it did not happen.
Not just why was Gado there, but I think it was all RSG because Occupy Thrones, they had Hulk all the way up in the base. It was a 4v5 to begin with.
They just steamrolled right over him, and that is just unfortunate. They need to play the front to back a lot more neatly, especially because Fury and Gado, they are relied on to provide the DPS, because without them, Diablo and Bri can just do whatever they want.
Right now, looking at, because this is an evolved Lord, it looks like RSG, they're not trying to crash all 3 lanes together. They're just going to move with the Lord, get the buff, and try to end it now. Diablo engages.
He gets a big taunt onto 2 members, but he is forced with the heavy spin, but he actually goes with the truncheon, and now it's chaos in front of the base of Occupy Thrones. It seems that RSG is going for the fight first, not straight for the base. It's very, very close though, and Occupy Thrones actually are starting to pick up some kills, but unfortunately, that will be the base taken out by RSG.
The inevitable victory that RSG has been working towards in the past 20 minutes have come to fruition. Match 1 goes over to RSG SG.
Now in this game, usually my post-game analysis, I will talk about the draft, but for this game, I'm actually going to talk about the items more. Again, congratulations RSG for winning the first match, and Occupy Thrones really push RSG, making it so that you're not going to stump us. We're gonna push it all the way to 21 minutes. Very, very strong front line, because White Chicken, I kind of feel like he's super aggressive when he's given the opportunity, but certain matches, he's not really been let loose. He's like, I'm just going to be reliable. I'm not going to ultimately be the playmaker. So I really want to see what kind of style this White Chicken want to show us today.
Well, I think the draft will be a huge way of telling. Here we go. On the play is the Valley answering back. S11, they got those 2 power picks on the swing back. There goes the Fanny, the Kaja, S11 Gaming. They don't want to see no glue. And Valentina, which, very oddly enough, in our first game today, did not see any play. No ban, no pick on Valentina.
The other long-range mages have been more popular, but maybe we'll see a Valentina in the jungle next match. Not in this match, though, for the Valley. They're banning out all these aggressive pick-off, huge burst heroes, and now they banned that 1-1 as well. So a bit of a mix on what they want to take away from S11 Gaming.
I talked about the EXP, but now I'm actually curious about the gold lane, because Beatrix has been played a lot, 0% win rate still. Carry looks to be very, very strong. And because the Valley did not ban out the carry, will they actually try to get a first pick? It's kind of a double-edged sword, because carry is very strong, but as a first pick, it's very easy to counter. But if you don't take a first pick, you're kind of giving it over towards S11 Gaming. So it's always a topic between first pick and second pick. Which one is better? In this kind of situation with the drafts, I kind of feel like S11 have a slight edge here.
Yeah, because they're able to create.
First, yeah,
they can see what the opponents pick up first. They can respond, or they can craft their lineups a little better given the last pick and the first 2 picks here. But I don't think it would be wrong for the Valley to pick up the carry first. Very, very strong hero, and Basic has been playing carry for years now. He played with the MPL Philippines for a couple of seasons, about 2019, 2020, and he's solid. Again, one of the keys to victory is give basic, solid, comfortable heroes.
And we've seen that the Valley is very adept at playing out these big team fights. So they are for sure, if they go for that carry pick, they're going to secure some kind of protection for sure. But actually, Jeeve is the option to go for. That slow, that AoE zoning, that is what they want to have against S11.
Honestly, Eve is strong against most fighters, but because of that, it's kind of almost putting Papadog at a spot where you got to use a dive kind of EXP later. I'm looking at the Yuzong, the Lapu Lapu. Even if he wants to use a Cho, where again 0% win rate as of right now.
The XP lane as well.
Whatever Papadog uses is really going to impact what's going on with the Valley, because the Valley is kind of like, okay, we're still going to hide what our marksman is going to be, so we're going to pick up the Eve. Not every single fighter can fight against the Eve, so they're putting a spot onto S11. Do you really want to counters right now? And I talk about the Cho, and they pick up the Cho.
Ooh, the Cho pick, very mobile, a lot of crowd control as well. But as well as that, the Fredrin. So now a bit of a switch up. Who is going to which role? This is the power of the flex picks we've been talking about. Flexible teams have been having such success in the current season.
I like though how Eve was the first pick for the Valley, because yes, it's not as flexible. It's very honest where he goes, but it's control in the sense that my mid is solid. You now have to give me the solution, because here's the problem, right? And Hoon is one of the best players to do this. He's so intelligent, has great mechanics, and he can control that mid lane so that eventually Basic can do his thing. And there you go, there's the carry.
Yeah, I really like this kind of respect, because they're really paying attention towards the draft. It's like, okay, do we really want to pick up the carry first? So they pick up the Eve first, where Eve can actually fight against the carry fairly well as well. So they pick it up first, and because they saw the Cho and the Fredrin, you know what? Yeah, carry game, and then they pick up the Lolita. But S11, 100% win rate on this Hayabusa, not for them, but throughout the tournament. And we've been hearing a lot that the Hayabusa has been doing very, very well in scrims.
Jotun is known to be playing this Hayabusa. He's very aggressive, and he has that mechanics to show off. And now with two very ideal targets in the back line for the Valley, it's going to be a bit of a problem unless the Valley has something in mind. Maybe they can invade the jungle early on and shut it down before the mid game even comes around.
Which they can do, because there's a Lolita in the hands of Super Shark. And this is a homecoming of sorts, ladies and gentlemen. In M3, last year's World Championships, Super Shark debuted the Lolita, and immediately, almost in the first game that he played it, made it meta.
Yeah, everyone else used it. It's like, was Lolita buff? Not really. But when Super Shark used it, it's like a super Lolita. It was like, it's actually super strong.
Yeah, and S11 watched a lot of M3 as well. They took out the Roger.
Wow.
This was one of Zane's paramours from M3 as well.
They're taking away all the unexpected picks here. Because as you said, the Valley, a bit of a trendsetter. And this is what makes it exciting, right? You never really know what exactly are they going to come up with. And if they can surprise S11, then they can have a chance to just completely overthrow the expectations. And that means that in the early game, S11, known for having a calculated approach, will not have a solid solution.
Yep, so far, S11 still needing a gold laner and a mid laner. As for the Valley, they still haven't given anything to Zane or to Chicken. I guess S11 might take out here another jungler, but no, they're just closing all the gaps. It's clear that Lolita's going in the roam, but they're afraid of XP Grok.
Yeah, I kind of feel like the way that they're reading the pick and ban right now is like Arashi said, there is a possibility of actually countering this Hayabusa in the jungle, because what we saw yesterday in the game between Onyx and Toda, where you got the Fanny, we're going to use our EXP as well as our roamer to invade your jungle. So this Grok ban, it looks weird, but it actually fits. So what I'm looking at right now for Chan is to actually use a very, very strong mid laner that can have a very good laning phase against the Eve, because if the early stage of the game, level 1, level 2, you're already losing to an Eve, you're kind of losing the jungle as well.
Lilia, do it, Lilia. You need solid DPS. The range problem won't matter when it comes to the mid game. Again, you're playing Hayabusa anyways. You don't want to go to the late game. It's going to be very difficult.
The Lilia makes a lot of sense. If they want to go for those early game skirmishes, with the setup from the Cho and the Fredrin, that's a lot of damage coming in from those glooms.
Let's see.
Yeah, right now on screen, Fried Chicken as well as Papada. So you're really looking at the EXP. And I kind of feel like the way the draft has been set up, Fried Chicken has a lot of time to see what his matchup is really going to be. So it looks like they're setting up the draft so that White Chicken has a good chance for success.
Yeah, they're forcing him, they're forcing Papa Dog to wait. And I think that tension in the draft, going into the game, loading into it, especially knowing that your opponent still has not picked up their hero, it could build up. It's like, all right, so wait, which is Chicken? What's he going to do?
Well, for the Valley, it's a bit of a different approach right here. They don't go for any flexible picks. We know where each of these heroes are going to go.
For
but
sure.
They think it's just that valuable that they don't mind exposing it. And in a way, now they can predict what will S11 take to try and counter the picks that are already so obvious.
Yeah, no, there's a beauty in honesty. Like, this is such an honest draft.
Yeah, speaking of honest, we haven't seen the Thanos, but we definitely seen the Akai. Very, very strong even when you're losing. And I kind of feel like this is very good going up against the Hayabusa. Looks like they're going to end it off with the Xavier, second Xavier for today. We've seen the damage. It's definitely going to be there. The problem is, can you actually find a space to deal the damage?
Man, I hate to say it, but S11's draft is so similar to Occupy Thrones' draft.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then RSG's draft from earlier, almost mirroring the Valley here.
Wow.
So, deja vu.
I mean, most effective tactic available, I guess. I mean,
It is what
if it's the most effective tactic, then all right, let's just use it.
But they seem they seem confident. S11, they're going into this and they have a plan.
Exactly.
What happened earlier today has nothing to do with how they're facing off against the Valley.
And I think with the Hayabusa being a big difference here, they have a better chance of maybe having a lot of pressure in the early game.
Oh, yeah.
Because we saw that the issue was the lack of snowballing in the previous match.
Yeah.
Well, right now I'm looking at the chase, right? Because you got a Hayabusa. You have a timer onto you. And speaking of time, let's go into the second game of the day between the Valley and S11 Gaming.
Quick note as to where these junglers are going to start. And it's not a mirror start here. It's actually orange to purple.
So both of the junglers starting in the top side of the map, trying to make sure that they are in the right area later on. We'll have to see for both teams which lane are they going to try and put their emphasis on as Erwin, really looking for a bit of a disturbance onto Mlbb.
And they force Reggie too.
Yeah, that's very, very solid because now they have a better chance to actually secure the Little Wanderer, which accelerates your level 4 capability. And right now, White Chicken as well as Papa Dog, it looks like White Chicken is really trying to hold off the lane, making it so that he gets his level a little bit slower, and perhaps at the second minute, gonna quickly cut the lane and then try to force a fight onto the turtle.
Oh, already Jotun making his way.
Well, he'll be able to get that Lethal Wanderer. We'll have to see, man. I mean, it's only level 2 right now, but the tension in the air, at any moment, any of these small skirmishes can burst out into a full-on team fight, as Jotun right here will be secure, but Mlbb actually makes the aggressive play, and that'll be a stun onto Erwin. He's able to escape right now, but for the Valley, they have secured control over the turtle area.
So despite that Little Wanderer going over to S11, overall map-wise, the Valley walked away with more.
Yeah, definitely. But right now, I'm really looking at the draft from S11. They have two ways that they got to play for it. If they can do both, it's great. Because they got to chill for a single target lock along with the Hayabusa. If they can use that, they can create a lot of space for both Chan and Mile to actually get their items and scale up. If they don't, they can slow down the game a little bit and they will still do well enough, but it's kind of like wasted opportunity. I want to see how Jotun plays with Erwin, because if they can actually put pressure onto the Valley in the early stages of the game, especially around this turtle fight, that'd be great. If they're playing super passively, they're kind of wasting their win condition.
This is the opposite. It's so aggressive. Arashi, look, do you see this? Do you see this? He's invading.
He's invading already, trying to make sure that he takes advantage of the fact that the Valley is prioritizing this turtle. Of course, the purple won't be as important for Akai in the hands of Mlbb, but right now, with that turtle in Tau, actually, we can see that the Valley might be looking for something else. White Chicken just pushing that aggression as they are actually making moves towards the purple buff afterwards. Mlbb trying to make sure that he does not lose out on the purple buff. He gets it, and he is going to use a heavy spin to try and escape from that situation, and S11 Gaming will not be able to find anything in exchange.
Amazing. Hakuna Matata. Everything will be all right. Did you see how Zayn took the turtle and then eventually stole away Jotun's purple as well? So nothing mattered.
Well, right now, the Valley, they're in a very, very good spot, because if we look at the map, they're winning top side, mid, as well as the bottom side of the map. And Orwin right now, he's being caught, and Hoon is unable to secure the kill, but that still puts a lot of pressure. S11, they're like, okay, like just to put it in numbers, right now the Valley, they're controlling like 65% of the map, and S11, they're just slowly losing the map away. And if you're losing the map, you don't have catch potential, and your farm is going to be so delayed.
Exactly.
And that's what makes a difference, because S11, going into the game, we said it in the draft, they want a snowball. With a lineup that has a Hayabusa, they need a snowball.
Well, this mid-game might be what they need. Erwin going in, trying to find something, but Super Shark will be able to actually stave off that aggression. Mail goes for the clear, and that's the power of the Beatrix, being able to clear the wave so fast, and that allows S11 to find some breathing room.
This is almost like just because the Valley could read what S11 is going to do, because we see like attempts, okay, Erwin go here, Erwin go there, but Super Shark is just there to mitigate the engagement.
Yeah.
And White Chicken, I don't need no help. I'm a Thanos.
Yeah.
1v3 me. I can take it.
That's as dead a lane as it gets, and I love it. That's coming from me. I'm an XP laner in game, so going into the mid game, where we're approaching the mid game, closing up into possibly the second to last turtle here, 10 seconds away. So far, the Valley has known how to respond to everything that S11 is doing. And am I right? The Momo ain't steal it.
Papa Dog now being the main target for the members of the Valley. He's able to escape though with that flicker. The heavy spin is being used by Muba Zane, and Fried Chicken will be able to pick up that first blood, and that will be the Valley getting an advantage, and now they are going for more.
Yeah, 4-minute first blood, that's great. What's not great right now is I have a general rule for assassins. If you don't do well early, then you're not going to contribute much into the game unless you find the specific target. It's easier said than done, because right now Hoon and Basic, I don't see them getting harassed. And if this continues, the Valley, they can really set up the map so that they can take whatever they want. S11, they got to find a way to make sure that they get a kill or an objective on the map. If not, they're really putting the Valley in a very, very good spot.
Everyone looking for something right here, but Super Shark is being so menacing in the front line, ensuring that the members of S11 do not have any chance to come even close to the turtle. We see a bit of a split right here as Fried Chicken jumps on Chan. He'll be forced to run away, and actually almost gets taken out very, very low. The steal attempt from Jotun is attempted, but it won't be enough. The Valley is taking full control here.
Oh, man. Two things, right? Number one, Erwin is overloaded. I feel like that Cho is trying to do too much. Trying to help his team come back, playing for vision, looking for pickoffs, and just the same. Fried Chicken is a monster. You see how hard he was pushing? Oh, wait, top lane!
Top lane, Jotun goes in for an aggressive play. The Shadow Kill is being used, but there's 3 members there way too much. The Ruin is being popped up, but Basic will be able to get a kill. The snipe from Mail is being used, but it won't be enough. The Valley takes out Jotun, and as you mentioned, Assassins not doing well in the early game.
Right now, S11, they almost got to slow down and actually talk to each other, because it's right now, Erwin, like you said, overloaded. You want to catch? Who? Who do you want to catch? Because almost everyone is impossible to catch. Some minor mistakes from S11. Chan alone getting chased out by White Chicken. Moba Zane dictating the jungle. There is nothing for Jotun. Level 10, Moba Zane. Level 8, Jotun.
And this is Akai that's rocking the jungle emblem without the cooldown reduction on the red tree. So he has to make more I don't know, better time decisions.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so that means Mobazine has evolved so much since we last saw him on the world stage.
We see a bit of a movement though. You can see that the Valley looking for yet another play. The slow comes in. The Ruin Manipulation is being used as well. That will be escape from Mile using that flicker. And that is the turret taken away. And look at the sneaky escape being used by Aaron.
Yeah, and again, like, sure, they use a lot of their own resources, but it's totally worth it. You're not letting the marksman farm. You're taking away turrets. 4,000 goal lead with just 2 kills. Right now, S11 and the Valley, they're like, we're just going to play respectful. We're going to play discipline. If we have to fight, we will. But if we don't want to, then just run away. We're just going to take what's ours anyways.
Oh yeah, that's something to note here. About 4.5k ahead, 7 minutes in. Slowly but surely, the Valley has become more mum. Earlier, they were more game to find these little skirmishes, but now they're just like, yeah, no, we'll take what we can, but only on our side of the map.
We can see that the XP lane has also been such a problem. White Chicken will be a lot more of an issue later on because he is doing that macro play. You can see that the members of S11, they're just forced to be pulled away from the main objectives due to that pressure.
And there's not much S11 can do here. Again, my eyes are on Erwin. Lafel, you started this whole thing. It's like, Erwin do this, Erwin do that. And I think number one question is, do they even know where the Valley is for Erwin to do these things?
I think the Valley, they just have the Sharingan. Oh, Papado tries to engage, and Hun missed flicker, but it really doesn't matter. No one caught him. Right now, the Sharingan eyes on the Valley. They know what's going to happen before it happens. Erwin tries to come in. Papado tries to come in. Is like, I see you coming in, and there's nothing that you can do. Hun 1v1 against Jotun.
Oh.
Not enough damage.
You want to know? You want to know a secret? You want to know a secret? You know how Hoon survived that, and White Chicken's gonna get this, by the way.
Ooh, White Chicken is still trying to escape from the situation. 1v3, it won't be enough though. Jotun will be able to pick up that kill, but at what cost? Right now it's a 1-for-1, but the Valley will be pushing.
It's worth it, this conversion. By the way, Hoon, his first main item, Lafel, or actually listen up, Brute Force Breastplate.
Wow.
I don't need to deal much any kind of damage. Basic, it's all you.
That's 185 IQ right there.
I'm just gonna survive, man. They're gonna try to find me. Well, good luck. You found me. Now what?
Now what, right? Talking about how you buy items at the right time, knowing your role and what your team wants to do, that's something that most Eves won't do right there. First item, Brute Force Breastplate?
Yeah, just to add on just a little bit, Hayabusa needs to win early. He lost early.
He was denied early.
Now he doesn't have enough damage. Now you build tanky items against him. It's not looking good.
There's just a lot of options available for countering this Hayabusa because he can use with the wind of nature, but heavy spin being used right here. Jotun will be the main target. White Chicken jumps on that opportunity as Papadog will be the main target. The flicker with the Numen Blast does not land, unfortunately, but the Valley has taken control once again. S11 Gaming has no solution.
Man, the Valley made Papa Dog more like Baby Dog. He's not doing much. Look, he's sitting at 0-3-1. Usually the Fredrin wants to go 2v1, 3v1 in lane. The way that the economy is gone, he can't build items.
And the thing is, White Chicken is like, I don't know what rotating means. I'm just gonna stay here.
Yeah.
And if someone wants to stop me, yes, they can.
Yeah.
But while you're trying to stop me, everyone else, they're moving the gears towards mid, moving the gears towards top side in the jungle.
Oh,
and right at the Valley's taking all.
That's a concealed play by the Valley, looking for Aaron right here. Numen of Blast being popped so early. It is cancelled, but look at the damage coming from the basic, as well as Hoon. There's way too much for S11 to take. That will be Aaron taken out yet again.
Peter Bryce, you monster. You see how much damage he was dealing? All they needed was to slow down Erwin, not even stop him in his tracks. It's just, okay, stay there for a bit. All right, good, we move on.
Moving on indeed right now. This kill score is 6-1. And S11 Gaming, it looks like they're not entirely sure what should they do. And right now, Hayabusa is just trying to clear the waves. Super Shark as well as White Chicken really don't care. This is the first Lord. Can the Valley actually end it right now?
They don't really have a lot of range to work around with. Of course, they have the high ground coming in with the real world manipulation. And now with the waves being pushed, they're going to get at least one here, it seems like. But it seems like S11 is just playing it calculatively, and the Valley do not want to risk Aaron making that hero play, keeping him on his toes though.
All right, this is the Valley making the call. We'll take it slow. We'll take tier 2 in mid. And so far, yeah, White Chicken has left Casa de la Chicken. Like, he left that bottom part of the map, and he's now helping push 5v5.
It's just so difficult as the Valley goes for the top tower right here. Look at White Chicken going in, the 1v4 essentially under the tower, and he's not even taken below half HP. The rest of the team tries to follow up on this big play, but it seems like S11 will not be able to even deter him from doing so.
The only reason why the Valley had to retreat because they saw the Hayabusa down in the bottom lane, because it looks like they have the damage, and if they do want to engage, they have that option. They just got to be careful, because if this Hayabusa continues to take all of the turrets, then it just becomes that Lord fight. If they're too occupied around the Lord, the Hayabusa could just end the game. So right now, you said it yourself. S11 Gaming, they are very calculative. So it's like, okay, it's kind of obvious we don't have enough damage. But the turns, they don't buy items. They don't buy any physical items to make sure that they can take more damage from the Hayabusa. So I feel like this is one of the only ways that they can play this out. So they gotta find a way to slow down S11, getting enough items onto the Beatrix as well as onto the Xavier, because the Xavier right now, not having the Lightning Truncheon makes it so that he doesn't have enough damage. And right now, it looks like he's kind of thinking, okay, he finished the Lightning Truncheon, so he should be able to do a bit more damage after this.
Right on cue, but look at the Valley looking for a play yet again. The purple buff will be the main target here. And S11, they just back away so far.
Okay. Never mind. I thought, like, was that a steal now? Momazin still got it.
Oh,
No.
wait.
No,
It was a steal.
Oh, it was a steal.
Oh, sharpshooter.
Nice.
From up top, yeah.
See, Lightning Truncheon it matters.
It matters. That's a lot of burst damage. And if the game goes longer and longer, that poke might just be what will win them the game, along with the split push.
Yeah, so it's only gonna happen if the Valley makes a mistake. But we just barely missed it off camera. What happened to Papa Dog?
He just got dogpiled on, and that will be the end of him. As you can see, S11 going for a different approach right here. Jumping in, making the play with the Way of the Dragon as well, but the Vengeance is just tanking so much. There's wow! That's Fried Chicken taking one versus three. Erwin is the next target, and Fried Chicken is going again and again. The Lord gets picked up, and look at Jotun. This is a disaster. He's forced to run away as Erwin, slowly but surely, has to be chased away. Jotun is alone. Look at who with the play. The rule of manipulation will secure that kill as well.
1v1.
It's not over.
Right here. Look at the blood right to his face. The flicker will not actually help land that skill shot, but the basic, he is trying to go for that kill, but the triple shadow, the quest shadow, by the way, by Jotun is being used on the other side of the map, though, in the base of S11. Fried Chicken just isn't stopping. He's going in again and again. Mobile Zane with the heavy spin, a bit too overextended, though. This might be the chance that S11 needs. Ruin Manipulation is being used, and that will be the Valley.
Overextended is an understatement. I think that team fight and that sequence happened maybe a minute too long, and they're still not done.
They go for Jotun, and that will be him finally taken out by the members of the Valley. And now with the Lord pushing in on the top side, consider S11. They're trying their best to clear this Lord, but it might not be possible. Super Shark comes in yet again, just stunning up Papa Dog as the Basic just do so much damage, and the Numenum Blaster actually lands. Basic, no fear, all the way in the front, actually trying to out-damage Mill at the same time. Erwin and Chan, the only two members left alone against the Lord, against the three members of the Valley. It won't be enough. The Valley will be the winners of this match.
Took a while. But the NA representatives, the crowd loves it.
Dude, I mean, like, it's so weird where start off the game slow, mid game slow, and late game just went to 11, man. It just pushes all the way, right?
Late game had, like, fights happening across the map.
Yeah, again, congratulations to our match winner, the Valley. And in the game just now, I feel like when we saw three members onto Fried Chicken, we're like, okay, maybe he can take one. But he's like, nah. If all three wants to fight, let's go. Vengeance was clutch. Blah, blah, blah. What's happening in the game?
The world would turn upside down.
Australia will be right side up.
Correct. Just safe to say, all right? It starts here in the draft. Let's see, Occupy Thrones, down to business. Taking out the Kaja, taking out the Faramis, RRQ, banning out the 1-1 and the Joy. Folks, it's not Coach Fiel on the stand right now. I believe that is Coach Achil joining Arcadia in the draft.
Ooh, I mean, they're banning away all these high movement heroes coming in from the side of Occupy Thrones. Maybe they're trying to stave off that aggression because RRQ, they have been known to try and experiment and be a lot more flexible team. Usually, they used to be known to just go guns blazing, no breaks at all. But now, they have shown that they have some patience and they get a little crafty with their tempo of the game.
I actually want to have a conversation with the both of you, right? Because right now, RRQ, again, favorites. Is this a situation where they kind of, instead of being very analytical about the draft, I'm pretty sure they will. But I kind of feel like winning is not enough. They got to win with flair, with dominance, right?
Show.
So is it a good idea to draft in a way where you have like 3 early game heroes and then just 1 late game hero just in case something goes wrong? Because this is one of the situations where since they're the favorites, a lot of people are looking at them to win. But is winning enough?
Looking at the lineup, especially since they let Lemon play here, I think I'm agreeing. Like, they would put the core hard in mid and then let Lemon do that and give Skylar something like a fighter.
Wow,
it's happened before.
I mean, here's the thing.
It's happened before.
Even if he wants a marksman, like, give something like a Brody. Like a Popol, right? Like, you can get your advantages very, very fast.
With Popol and Koopa, definitely. And with RRQ's plays now, that is definitely something that can work. They've banned out the Fredrin as well, so trying to deny a lot of the crowd control.
Glue is open. Glue.
Oh, yeah, Glue. Okay, if they let go of Glue, like, that's pretty confident.
Yes.
But if they can win, then that really shows something here. And are we surprised Glue first pick? Like, the undiable man.
Not at all.
Undiable jelly.
But here's the thing. Achil and Arcadia, something's coming. It's part of the plan.
Seems like
there's got to be a reason why.
Faramis is banned. So Faramis cannot be used as a counter against Glue.
I mean, sometimes you just don't need a counter. You just need to play around it.
We'll have to see because R7 is the XP laner for RRQ, and he's known to have a lot of rotations, a lot of creative ways to approach fights. But now with the glue being such an oppressive presence in his lane, can he replicate the same kind of performance?
Again, with a hero like Glue in your matchup, I call him the relentless one, El Capitan. I don't know how much relentlessness you can get in. Like
I want to see Carry. I want to see Carry right now.
Carry.
And Carry has been picked up.
Carry Dita.
Carry Dita. Because again, Carry can kill any tanks. You could be meta, but you're nothing in front of my eyes. I'm the carry. I will carry the entire team to victory, and Karita controls the map. And right now, we're going over Occupy Thrones. They picked up the Leslie.
Yo,
Very interesting approach.
Coach Mundo's over the Beatrix. Like, no more.
No more.
There's something is up with the Beatrix, but God, no more.
They just haven't been able to make it work. But right now, if you think about it, right, being on that Leslie is going to be a lot more important for the positioning to have a lot of sense because Leslie is a marksman, but she doesn't strictly do DPS. If you can find an opportunity to try and pick off one of the Squishier members, that is one of the main strong points a Leslie can bring to the team.
He's bursty.
She's very bursty. And right now, the Akai has been picked up. So far, I would say the Akai has been pretty good for any of the teams. And I'm not so sure, but looking at the lineup, right now, RRQ, they picked up the Benedetta. And I'm talking about it because perhaps Occupied Thrones, they're kind of going back to what they did in their first game. Have two main damage dealers. So in this kind of situation, it would be good if Skylar can be like, I can kind of take care of myself. All of you guys dive to the back line. Now there is a Benedetta for RQ. They could just add more and give enough pressure towards the Leslie. Try the attack. I dare you.
I mean, right now they want to dive towards the back line against an Akai, though, so that's going to be a bit of a tough assignment.
It's like an oxymoron. Like, I should do this, but not that. But I mean to do this.
It's counterintuitive,
Yeah.
but if anyone can make it work, it's going to be the unpredictability of RRQ that will shine through here as they ran out that Farsa as well.
Yeah, they know that Occupy Thrones is short on range. I would not be surprised if this last man over here would be a savior.
Yeah, right now we're looking at both mid laners for both teams, and I kind of feel like this is appropriate because, again, Fury did great. And Lemon, we all know he is greatness, especially in MPL Indonesia. So the GOAT, he's the real GOAT, man. I mean, like, again, belated happy birthday and all, but
Happy birthday.
we are not entirely sure this Karita, is it going to be a roam Karita? Because we usually see the Karita in the roam.
Exactly, I was about to say
Lemon
that
could
up.
have used it.
Yeah, there are two flavors of Kadita right now. Mid and Rome, and both are just as lethal.
And Lemon is well known to try and make those crazy plays, those insane plays where at a glance you don't even know what he's going for.
Oh, yeah.
But on a hero like a Kadita, that is the kind of pick that will really suit his playstyle.
I'm even thinking, what if it's just like, you know what, Lemon, you can use the Karita, so use the Karita. How about we just pick up the Diggy and kind of just like cancel out the Akai? So be like, now there's no more oxymorons. So it's like, if we want to dive, just dive. Who's really going to stop us?
Welcome.
Welcome.
Come on in.
Yes, come on in.
Here's that band that's got me thinking, are they allowing the Savior and Fury? Because they take out the Estes. Do they know something? Because look, Maro's very vocal about, oh look, they banned the Estes. What's going on?
Ooh, getting out the Estes, trying to make sure that they can get the burst damage. They don't want security. But in this situation, surely the Diggy would be a better pick than the Estes to try and deny those pick-off potential from RRQ.
No, right now, RQ, like, again, I'm just saying it could be a very, very good pick because Diggy you can use defensively, but you can also use very, very offensively. And I kind of feel like banning out the Estes, they're probably thinking because, again, the way that they play, they want to stick together, right? Making sure that Fury can deal the damage, as well as their gold laner. So they're like, maybe what RQ is going to do is they have a lot of burst damage. And burst type heroes don't like healing because you basically dealt all of your skills.
And then it's undone.
And then it's undone. So I kind of feel like this show that they want a lot of burst on their side. And now they have a Terizla diving in. Very, very big boy.
Big boy.
Can't be taken down and can deal a lot of damage.
This is not a drill, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, actually picked up by RQ Hoshi. Is this going into the XP lane? Going into the jungle?
That's a scary part. You never really know. It's an absolute unit up hero, and in the right lane is just such a big problem. Right now for Occupy Thrones, we'll have to see what exactly is their solution here because there's so many dashes. Something that can punish that or stop that can be very useful.
It's not even impossible that this might go into mid.
Oh.
It's possible that this could go mid. Right?
Terizla?
Yeah, but like
Yeah,
a lane bully.
why not?
Like a lane bully.
Exactly.
maybe.
Why not? Okay.
It's RQ on their opening day. They can do anything they
They gotta
want.
put a statement.
Gotta make a huge statement, trying to show dominance, being one of the main favorites. But ooh, this is Maro on that Franco here. That's a lot of pickup potential if it lands onto the right people.
Yeah, Franco man against the Franco man. There's a little bit of This is an oxymoron. It's like, I'll play the Franco against the Franco specialist, but Maro.
Look at this.
Yeah, he's like
focusing on Vin is like, you're using my hero.
Yeah, but I do like the Sicilian pick. The Sicilian pick is solid because, again, we were talking about how Farsa's banned, Saber's banned, but I think Sicilian's a better pick, especially for a late game lineup like Occupy Thrones.
Can they reach that late game, though? It depends, because there's a Kadita, and if the Kadita gets rolling, it is a very oppressive presence, especially for a vulnerable mage like a Sicilian.
Right now, RQ, they finish off with a Xavier of their own, and so it looks like Vin will be piling the Kadita. And we've seen Kadita not doing well if the early game is not good. But having Albert on the Benedetta, as well as having the Terizla, I don't see them losing the mid, the EXP, and the jungle. They can force a fight. They can really force a fight, especially against the Sicilian.
They can just keep going. I think the only real thing is you have to watch out for mana. But that aside, they can just keep going. This is, wow. They answered the glue here by going, on and on, fight forever.
Well, Glue doesn't really do well moving backwards. It's always a very oppressive hero, provided that he is actually aggressing. So maybe RRQ just plan to fight fire with fire and bring the aggression to Occupy Thrones instead.
Could this be the answer to the glue?
Well,
very surprising.
We're about to find out, because going into this first game, let's introduce again both teams from Jakarta, RRQ Hoshi going up against Occupy Thrones from MENA.
It's an Egyptian and Saudi Arabian squad, and all eyes are on Maro. I promise you, the game changer here, especially come the mid to the late game, are those perfect hooks. It's gotta come from Maro.
He's on that skin as well, so it's a very... Some people say it gives you a buff almost. You get better when you use this skin. We'll have to see if that is the case for this particular game. He is looking for early advantage here. In the early game, the Franco is just so dangerous. Vin chunked a half HP, but they're trying to trade it back. And for now, this is going to be the same pattern.
Keep on doing that, and he will prove your point. When you use the skin, you get better. Now, RRQ Hoshi, sure, they get poked a little bit, but I kind of feel like Fury and Maro, they took a little bit more. Right now, RRQ, they got to look at which part of the map do they really want to control. Same thing with Occupied Thrones, because looking at the map right now, it looks like Terizla is winning against the Glue. I'm not familiar with this matchup, so I can't really say for sure which one will have the better laning phase.
Yeah, this could be the precedent. We could figure out if really that Terizla is the answer, or at least this kind of lineup and this approach could be it. We're about 40 seconds away from the first turtle, and there's a lot of pressure on gold lane. RQ Hoshi given God of hell.
Well, RQ Hoshi, like playing for the gold lane, Skylar is one of the main players that they rely on to carry. And carry, despite being a late game specialist, actually has a lot of healthy damage in the early game. Albert right now will be colliding with Leo. Just spotting him out right here in the XP lane. That's where the real fight is going on. Hawk against R7 1v1. Hawk will be finally able to escape, but look at the final blow. He's so low, 1 HP. R7 comes in to secure that kill. Albert in a tough spot, 1v2, but the mobility will allow him to escape.
Wow, not a single punish on the baby alien. He gets away with it.
I mean, like, look at how they actually executed it, because they even like telegraphed, like, I will attack you. Glue or no glue, you're gonna go down. And at least for right now, it looks like in terms of the laning phase, R7 is really controlling Hulk, making sure that he doesn't get ahead. And he has to be aware of that, because if he can't win the 1v1, it's gonna look bad whenever someone wants to come and trade.
Vin comes to the Breath of the Ocean. The Rough Waves also takes Maro out. That will be the Roamer, not available for the first turtle play. And RRQ, they're looking to straight away capitalize as Albert goes in. 1v1, dumps a lot of damage onto Leo. Let the final blow actually fails though. Hawk steals the turtle. Leo makes a play with a heavy spin, but that will be 4-0. Hawk is still just ruling 1v1 against R7. But that is that advantage.
Like finding a needle in the haystack. I don't know exactly what triggered the damage from the glue that actually took down the turtle there, but hey, Occupy Thrones can walk away with what they can. That's a small victory.
I kind of think like it might have been the slam, but either way, that we did not see that coming. And right now, Vin catches Maro, but looks like it's not that big of a problem just yet.
Ooh, the Bloody Hunt being used now. Vin being very low, taken out by Fury 77. Leo trying to get some more, and just these small pickoffs, the roamers.
it looks like Occupied Thrones, they're not afraid to actually get fights here and there. And Arkiyoshi, they're reading it. Gato almost got 1v1 by Skylar. Skylar feeling very, very confident up here. And Albert, he's putting so much pressure all across the map. It's like every single time the camera pans, Albert's there.
He is playing that Demon Slayer Benedetta, but look at Skylar right here. 1v2. Heavy spin actually does not land onto him, but look at Iron Castle as well. What is going on? Skylar very, very low. He'll finally get taken out as we see Vin trying his best to try and equalize. It won't be available though, and that is one strike back from Occupy Thrones.
Maybe 2 or 3 seconds too late. Vin came to the rescue. Skylar's flicker was on cooldown. And the main difference between Albert and Leo is the fact that Albert is more proactive. And folks, what you're hearing right now is a cheer within the stadium.
It's a drum.
I thought something fell. It's like boom, and it's like boom, 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 boom. It's like okay.
Are they dropping it over and over again?
I love it. But that was a very interesting interaction between the Franco Iron Hook as well as the Hurricane Dance. Like he pulled it back in and then pushing it away again. I gotta feel like it's something that they have to put into consideration whenever they continue an attack.
Yeah, but the potential for it is huge, right? Like it's massive displacement.
Massive displacement, that's for sure. And now RRQ just circling around this turtle. They're looking for a way to maybe capitalize on a fight at the same time. Vin already still very exposed though. And as an opposite, that is going to be the secure being taken by Leo. But look at that. They are actually going for R7 as well. They're looking for more advantages as Vin is also stuck in the turtle pit. He'll finally get taken out by Hawk. Actually, finally, that will be it. That is a disaster for RRQ. They lose 2 members and the turtle as well.
Hulk smash!
Dude, like right now, Occupied Thrones is actually getting a lot of work done because 100% turtle secure.
Being used by Maro. Skylar forced to flicker out. Finally, he is actually able to survive. That is a dangerous situation.
The ultimate sniper cooldown.
What's going on here, Leo?
Oh man, they're almost 2K ahead and they're taking control of the lower part of the map. I don't know if R7 is enough to stop this.
Oh, he goes all in. He finally takes out Fury 77, and Hulk tries his best to try and turn it back. He is just way too low though. The torrential damage is insane. But on the other side, the rough ways from Vin will be able to take out Maro as well.
No, this is a scrappy matchup. We were just saying how Occupied Thrones was in control, and just as quickly RQ Hoshi goes, no, wait.
Hey, now this is a game, right? Fights on fights on fights.
Yeah.
This is Arashi's home, guys. Like, I like violence. Don't you like violence, Arashi?
Early game tempo, man. This is the exciting gameplay we've all been waiting for.
Answer the question.
Do you like violence?
I love it, man.
Looking at the items, is there enough here for Occupied Thrones or even Arkiyoshi to have violence on demand?
Right now, I'm looking at Terizla. I'm looking at Terizla. He's being very, very aggressive because he has the Fury Hammer as well as the Flawless Axe. So it's like, yeah, screw defense. We'll build that later. I want damage right now. I want to make sure that I can get advantage on his glue.
I will heal by hurting others.
Yeah.
Vin goes in. He's forced to use the rough waves, though. He's stuck in a tough situation, alone all the way on the side. That will be a kill for Occupied Thrones. It's RRQ. They go for a bit of a weird fight as the turtle is actually spawning.
And what's weird about it more is it's a 4v4. And in a 4v4 like that, given that there is a Franco, Occupied Thrones is way ahead.
Yeah, right now, Occupied Thrones, it looks like they're starting to read what RQ is all about. Albert taking a lot of damage, and I kind of feel like that's kind of what's happening towards the entire game, where he's everywhere, but everywhere he goes, he gets hurt. And Gato just finished his Berserker Fury, and for Leslie, that is a huge power spike.
Ooh, Albert goes in with the final blow, trying to make sure he secures that turtle. It will not be secured. It's taken by Leo yet again. He will pay the price for it, though, as Hulk just zones everybody away. Look at the Hulk being used by Maro. Skylar in a tough situation, but he's still alive. He's still alive and doing a lot of damage to RRQ. And he is actually forced to back away, but RRQ, they clap back from that play.
So close. There could have been more that Occupied Thrones done with that kind of engagement. I had my eyes on Maro, and he had his eyes on Skylar, and it was so close, he could have taken down RRQ's gold laner.
My eyes were everywhere because that was a fight, and right now it really looks like, you know what, Glue has to be perma-banned, man, because we're going to look back at the instant replay to really understand what happened just now, where the fight around mid, Leo again, right now 100%, turtle secure rate for Occupied Thrones. Hulk really goes to the backline, making sure that not enough damage is there. But Fury 77, he was left alone. So it looks like both teams have the same idea. Go to the backline. Right now, Hulk is getting attacked.
He is pressed down, but he is able to escape. But Albert is making chase. Unfortunately, the regeneration is way too much. Now RRQ, once again, trying to establish a foothold in this game.
Given what's happening here in this about 8-minute, 30-second game, this is very characteristic of Occupy Thrones. It's not clear that they're winning, but the fact that Leo is sacrificing himself for the major objectives is making a difference.
That is a pickup, but R7 now is the next target. He's trying to stand his ground. Play, but no, it won't be enough as Vin now is the one caught in a tough situation. Skylar tries to just deal out a lot of damage as Lemon makes the play, but the hook lands onto him. It won't amount to anything as Leo finally gets taken out. With a shutdown for Fury 77.
Arashi, the violence, the carnage. Look at all the bodies underneath tier 1 in mid. And Occupy Throne stands tall.
Yo, Leo, we gotta look for their coach, man. What happened between then and now? Like, all of a sudden, they just, like, woke up. It's like, we're ready for Araki Hoshi because that fight, it wasn't clean. But that's the kind of fight I like to see. Fury 77 actually kiting things up.
Let's go to Albert.
Maro, what?
Buy this skin.
That is very, very
dangerous.
The skin difference, man, is just making it so obvious. And if that lands at the right moment, whew, that could have been really, really disastrous for RRQ.
All right, so far, key for RRQ to regain control is vision. I think they need to watch out really for where Maro is and the angle that Leo is coming at. These little base by Vin.
Oh, Iron Hook again. Suppression is being used as well as Vin will be taken out without being able to use any of his spells. And RRQ has forced to back away from this Lord.
My analysis is, yes, buy this kid. Like, legit, because Maro is doing a lot for the team. Hulk goes on to Albert, and Albert, right now, he's having a tough time to actually get in range to the Lord R7 at the front. And right now, Hulk is doing 1v3.
Hulk is zoning everyone away from the Lord. That'll be a shutdown picked up by Skylar, but the Lord is secured by Leo and RRQ. They are powerless to change the outcome of the fight. Look at the Hulk again. What? R7 alone. Fury pops the ultimate as well. And now, you can see Albert goes in to try and help out. Do something more as Leo follows up. Vin late to the party yet again. It won't be enough as Leo just taken very, very low. But look at the dawning light. Finally trading back a kill for RRQ.
It's scrappy, it's dirty, but boy oh boy, does Occupy Thrones appreciate this kind of gameplay. They're 2K ahead. I'd say this Lord was worth it despite the trades. And look at this. I think this is where they need to be. This is where they want to be. They have Gado safe, far away from trouble.
Right now, looking at the players' goal, Fury 77 as well as Lemon. 1,000 gold difference between both mid laners. So right now, Lemon has to find a way to get a little bit more gold onto his hand so that he has extra damage going on to the side of Occupy. Because again, the Dawning Light secured a kill. Perfect. Amazing. But right now, they need a little bit more DPS because Skylar can deal the damage. But every single time he goes in front, he has to be careful because with Maro hitting all these hooks, that's amazing.
Being used by Occupy Thrones, though, looking for an opportunity. Albert goes in to clear the Lord, but look at the side lanes. Leo already pushing Vin away. He's suppressed as well. That's all the damage. But look at the combo traded back. Maro gets taken out. Both warmers down as Skylar jumps in forward aggressively. Albert as well chunked down. And look at the HP. 1 for Leo.
One, Grandma. 1. But look at down bottom. All was worth it because Hulk was pushing away at tier 2.
No.
Albert, baby alien. Baby alien.
He's going to be covered by R7. That is a very, very close situation. But Albert makes it out alive.
All right, so one thing is clear. Once Occupy Thrones sees Vin, they are not pulling any punches. I think that's one big problem that a Kadita Rome has.
This is what I want to see, confidence and trusting your shot caller. Like whoever's in front is like, yeah, let's go for this target. Right or wrong, as long as you act on it, you will get results.
Make it right.
Make it right. I like what they're doing right now. They're not being scared. They're not trying to run away. They're trying to fight back. And now with a 2.4k gold lead, and it looks like Gato as well as Fury 77, they're doing a lot of damage. Skylar, because he flickered to the front trying to get the kills, it shows desperation. He still has to be careful, but this does show that RQ, they're feeling the heat from Occupy Thrones.
Occupy are the ones going for the purple buff right now. Leo with the heavy spin as well. R7 is forced to flicker out. Skylar, chunk very low as Hawk goes in, but look at the Hawk again. That is a huge play from Maro. Hawk escaped with his life in the midst of that situation. No one is taken out just yet.
Oh, wow, they're scrambling each other. They're scrambling each other. You see the composure of RQ Hoshi here. That could have been lethal. And again, they are down maybe one major core item, but they knew that this was not the fight to take. And I think Occupy Thrones also just had to think twice, like, no, don't.
I just like that right now, Occupy Thrones, they're really running very, very fast because in that previous fight, they were able to dodge the dawning light. And now, Occupy Thrones, they're starting the Lord. RQ, how will you respond?
Vin gets spotted by the snipe. Maro makes for play, but it doesn't land. That's a flicker down for the Franco as RRQ. Look at that opportunity. They see an opportunity to just capitalize as Hawk goes in alone. He gets bursted down though. That is not good at all. No front line for the side of Occupy Thrones as RRQ push them away. Maro and Leo tries to get a pickoff, tries to get something. The steal, can it happen yet again? It won't be available. It's being used right now, but look at that. That is a mega kill picked up by Fury77, but Skylar will be picking up a kill as well. The fight is not over, and OT, they're trying their best, but the one securing the Lord is going to be Skylar. It's still a 2-4-3, but that was a bloody endeavor from both teams.
They served them all up to the GOAT. Lemon just had them all set up, lined up, and swing. Oh my lord. RRQ Hoshi now back in control, scoring that Lord. That's a luminous Lord.
Yeah, right now, Skylar is putting on his big boy pants because look at the items. Right now, it's very scary. Demon Heart Sword, Gorgeous Scythe, Golden Staff, as well as the Endless Battle. He has a lot of heal. He has a lot of true damage. So Hulk, he has to be careful of that because he went in alone. That's not the best thing that you can do. Someone is not listening to the shot call because that was not coordinated well.
Yep. So also, something to point out, he's not picking up the usual Wind Talker because again, Leslie is not one.
Skylar gets hooked out, but it won't be his death. R7 comes in to zone everyone away, and RRQ stabilized. They have a lot of damage done on the top turret. Maro is lethal right now. That is dangerous.
Watch out. Still could be a game changer despite RRQ being ahead. But I was saying, Wind of Nature, Skylar's not building one because Leslie is not a marksman you build the Wind of Nature against.
Yeah, true damage, man, not physical damage. And right now, RRQ, with just one Lord, they've already turned things around. 500 goal lead ahead. It is not big, but considering they've been on a deficit for like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, this is huge. This is great. But again, looking at how Maro is playing this Franco, he could really change things around if he could get Albert, Lemon. I don't think he's going to get Skylar, but if he does, then, dude, Occupy Thrones, they're going for it.
Lemon right there with a Dawning Light is able to chunk Gado down to half HP. That is one spell on a very low cooldown. If they can do that again and again, they can almost get a guaranteed 4v5 in these big objective takes.
Yeah, no, more likely they are. I mean, the time that Skylar and Albert bought for Lemon is going to pay dividends.
Oh, flicker onto Vin as well. That will be the unstoppable picked up by Fury77. The roamer battle here between Vin and Maro.
Can I just say, LaFell, that was overkill?
I kind of feel like they have some kind of vendetta with Vin and just Vin.
Yeah.
That was highly unnecessary. Where it's like, it was worth it.
3 ults?
They want to send a message.
Yeah. It's like, specifically you.
Oh no, they're going to lose this inhibitor. Oh.
That is the pressure being exerted by RRQ. And now, Occupy Thrones going for the purple buff will be able to secure it away. That's unfortunate for Albert.
Oh, well, I mean, I was going to ask if that was worth it, but yeah, no ults were harmed in the stealing of that purple buff. So yeah, that was worth it.
I mean, like, in
was
this
just a hook.
I mean, like, okay, let's put into consideration, so like, yeah, you use a lot of ults, but if you're not going to fight in the next 30 seconds,
why not?
40 seconds, it's fine. Because, again, you want to create some kind of psychological pressure, and R7 goes in.
R7's very, very low right now, but look at the Dawning Light. Gado is half HP. The snipe does not land on the right person. Skylar being chunked out, but not nearly as badly as Gado was.
You know what? The draft between RRQ and Occupy Thrones now in hindsight is so multi-layered. It's so deep because there's so much these two teams can do on the near range, melee, long range, mid range. Oh Lord, this Lord fight.
Gets hooked again. Maro making the plays happen for his team. That is a roamer from RRQ, unavailable to make any plays. It's still a 5v4, but RRQ are not backing away. Hawk is trying to zone everyone away, but it's not enough. Leo with the heavy spin, trying to make sure that he can get this Lord, but they're both getting low right now. That is a kill picked up by Gado, but he will be taken out as well. Skylar gets a shutdown, gets unstoppable as well, and that is the Lord secured by Leo though.
Skylar is doing work, man. I mean, Leo, good job to you, man, securing the Lord, but still, is that gonna be enough? Because in the later stages of the game, it almost doesn't matter if your entire team gets wiped out. It's just 2. But the thing is, the 2 that got hit was the damage dealers. And right now, we're going to look back at the replay because a lot of things happened. So let's break it down in this instant replay where the fight around the Lord. Look at Leo. He's taking a lot of damage from Skylar. And Skylar is really waiting for everyone to come to the front because he's like, I don't have to force this. Flickers in, goes on Fury, and this is the game changer. Skylar is baiting. Once he sees the bait has been took, he goes in front. He doesn't care. He flickers and he gets the kills.
So it's an alley-oop again, like what happened with Lemon earlier on during RRQ's comeback. It's the same story with Skylar. But dare I say, in that moment, in that instant replay, my eyes were on the 6'5" Egyptian, the jungler from Occupy Thrones, Leo. He was on point. I could have sworn he used the retribution earlier in the fight, but he had it, and he knew that they needed this. Was that, what kind of Lord was that?
Oh, that was just a...
Was it a Evolve Lord?
Yeah, Luminous Lord. And look at Ghost Game, even he's like very hyped for this game.
Of course.
Yeah, he's like, let's go.
He's a one-man cheering squad.
He's up against the whole kingdom of RRQ, but Maro
I don't like his odds.
All the hopes of Occupy Thrones are on Maro right now. He is the man that they rely on, and along with that, Leo with the retribution, man. It's been so solid so far.
So we're about a minute and a half until that next Lord. You think we're going to get there? You think we're going to have to wait for this? Or is somebody going to pull the trigger?
I kind of feel like we have to. And this is a situation where Occupy Thrones, if they can set it up, then it's going to be great because Maro's hooks has been so good. So if he can if he can hook someone around the Lord, they could create a very good situation because in my personal opinion, don't focus on the Lord, focus on the kills, man.
All right, so they turn on heroes.
It's so dangerous right now because both teams can scout right here. Lemon with the Dawning Light and Gato with the snipes right here. That is exposing everyone and allowing Vin and Maro to attempt that play. Unfortunately for Occupy Thrones, the Franco engage is just so much more dynamic.
It's so good. Look at Albert. I think this is the one game changer. Leo has to always be with his team to make that play. And again, that's what I'm saying about Albert since about minute 3 or 4. The Benedetta is the proactive one.
Yeah.
The Akai has to answer back. The Akai, you can see his plan from a mile away.
Yeah, right now, going back to the keys to victory RRQ, they need to use their experience, and they're using it well because they understand that with the draft coming in from Occupy Thrones, they have to sacrifice one lane. And what lane it is, Albert will go and attack it. And Skylar, he's been in so many fights in his life that he understands that because of the short range of the carry, you can't be too aggressive. But the moment he sees certain skills have been used, then I'm gonna go. If you catch me, catch me. But I will die, and I will bring most of you with me.
Yeah. And look, now they've started it. RRQ Hoshi made the call.
Ooh, Iron Hook does not land right here, so RRQ, they have a lot of options to play around with. Vin looking for a chance in the side, looking for a pick of potential. Leo is in position, though, to try and make this a very difficult contest. The Retribution battle has not been favoring RRQ. The Occupy Thrones are very happy to make the plays happen. The flicker is being used. Unfortunately, the hook does not land. That is massive for RRQ. You can see they move in a more aggressive manner. Pay attention to Vin. Look at him. He's trying to make sure he gets the right play at the right time. They see him, though. Conceal is being used, but he's suppressed. He cannot make the play happen. That is him taken out of the equation. And now Occupy Thrones have the chance. Leo goes in, but the Immortal has been popped because Skylar is doing way too much damage. Lemon takes him out, but the Lord is picked up by Albert. Fortunately for RRQ, one man down from both these teams, but that is very, very valuable for RRQ right now.
Lafel, you said it right. At the end of the day, whoever turned on heroes first and whoever makes that call will win the fights. And RRQ Hoshi, they did just that. They baited out the ults first, and then eventually, yeah, you can separate Skylar from us, but the call is still there.
I actually like treating Vin there because he gave vision. He gave enough damage to Gato because if you look at his playstyle, if his HP is below 50%, he will not commit. And because Gato was not in like 2/3 of the fight just now around the turtle pit, around the Lord pit, Arkeoshi really took that advantage. Like, yeah, kill Leo, get the Lord, get Prophet, and right now, can they actually survive with RRQ here pushing with this evolved Lord?
RRQ trying to make sure that the waves are on point right here. The Lord is on the top side, so RRQ can do a bit of a split push in the situation. They need to be careful, though. At any moment, Maro can make the play happen. His flicker is not available, unfortunately. But look at R7 making the plays happen, initiating for his team. Skylar is dishing out damage upon damage as the Lord is distracting everyone else. In the back line, line. That is going to be suppression being used on R7, but it won't be enough. Both teams just going all in all. With the trunk just coming out again and again. The rough
Skylar
will save Vin, but Skylar is still devastating, doing all the damage possible. Hawk is alone. He won't be able to save this game for his team. RRQ, they reign supreme.
Big congratulations to RRQ Hoshi. But what a match. What a game. The debut of the King of Kings here going up against Occupied Thrones. It went all the way. And what an amazing showing by both teams.
For a good 10 to 15 minutes, Valley United Stadium was very quiet. But I'm glad now with the victory of RRQ Hoshi, it seems like all is well. But let's not take away from Occupied Thrones. They got the Sang Raja into a corner and it kept them there for quite a while. What an effort.
The prodigy, the youngest player on the team, Mauro on that Franco, he is just crazy. At any moment, he just makes that play happen so decisively as well. There's no hesitation at all in his movements.
Oh, yeah, no. Gus Gaiman, there's more. Occupied Thrones can show more. You watch out, you wait for my team. We're not going home today. The knockout stage is where we're going to show up. And I do believe him. I'm just assuming on what he's saying, but I do believe him in saying that there's more to Occupied Thrones.
Okay, let's see whether that record is still going to stand as we jump into this drafting phase. And I think a lot of the battle is going to be predetermined right here, right now, to kick things off. And I mean, Joe Kaja instantly, Ultimate's looking to pick people off, say no more, get it out of my face. And of course, thank goodness Glue is out of here. So sick of him.
Yeah, I was gonna, well, how can you be sick of Glue already? It's only day 2, Gideon. I mean, give the hero, I was gonna say give the Glob like a chance here, right? But I get it, right? You don't want to see Glue pop up too often. I am more interested in those interesting matchups in the XP lane, right? And that's why I said I love seeing some of those. I mean, we even saw Terizla, right?
Yes.
And which was interesting the way that it worked out. But again, this still leaves a lot of flexibility in the draft already, even though it's only day 2. Now, of course, we're going to see kind of that meta set in as we get further into the M4 tournament here. But so far, we're waiting for one more ban. I do like the Valentina ban as well for the last part of the first draft from RRQ Akira.
I do think that Valentina, even though she got nerfed a couple patches back, she's still a viable choice. Why do I say this? She's so flexible.
Yeah.
You can put her in the jungle, you can put her as a roam even, and we've seen her time and time in the mid lane. So now we're going to see the last ban coming in from the Valley. It's actually going to be the Wan. So really taking that as an option away for Gusta Lagusta, but the Joy was left open here.
Yeah, now, Joy is one of those heroes that we need to talk about. The question is she as good as people say she is?
Yeah.
There are many times where what role is she going to go into? How much impact does she have in those games? And more importantly, it tells the Valley, hey, your CC might not necessarily be effective, assuming they play Joy perfectly.
Well, that's why I'm saying, like, if you think back to MSC, where another hero that started with J, Julian was a big question mark.
Yeah.
People were like, does he work better in the jungle? Does he work better in mid? But this time, Joy adds a little bit of flavor to that because you can also play her in the side lane, the XP lane, which we've seen done before too. But yeah, the question is, where does she work best? So we'll see where she ends up going here for RRQ Akira. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Valley, with their 2 picks locked in, it's going to be the Faramis and the carry.
Yeah, it feels like right now the Valley, and especially for Basic, he's super comfortable playing this carry, knowing that she can scale to ascend through the heavens if she has to with a golden staff. But that does mean that the laners have to be strong, especially when we're looking at Gusta Lagusta. If he's going to pick up something like Beatrix, he needs to win the lane. But even more so, something even safer is going to come down to the Claude. Louise is going to be locking it. Oh, sorry, not even that. RRQ Akira is going to be locking in onto that Lolita to ensure team fights can be disengaged. And finally, the Frederick.
Okay, very quick picks coming through here. Now the Valley already taking that Fredrin for that side lane. Quite strong, one of the main meta EXP heroes at the moment because of how sustainable he is. And we're going now into the second phase where Yves is banned out. And I gotta say, like right now in this current patch, in this current meta, I think Yves is so strong.
Yeah, even with a little bit of minor changes she's had, where you only have pretty much a couple options to really stop that real world manipulation. It has to be a suppress.
Suppress.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's a big pretty much taking out of that picture is going to be good. But I still want to talk about flexibility, right? Because still, you don't know where the Joy's going exactly. And secondly, with this Fredrin, could possibly end up going in a side lane as well, like you mentioned, or even jungle. We've seen him flex there.
Yeah, he has been flexed in many different places, and we're finally seeing a Leomord ban after quite some time here. I don't know. I feel like Leomord is one of those heroes where it's like you can almost guarantee a win towards the later stages of the game if your comp builds around you. However, that build-up is so very painful and such a slow roll, and I feel like teams, they want to snowball as soon and as fast as possible.
And I think that's what makes Leomord fragile. Because I've seen a lot of teams pick this up, but because they were unable to attain that early game snowball, it was kind of difficult for the Leomord to do anything in that jungle. But we're going to see the Farsa being banned out. So what does that leave Sagan, right? I guess the Xavier is something that we saw earlier, but what do you think here? I think the Lilia could be good as well.
All right, it really depends on what they're trying to achieve. The fact that the Valley is banning out both Even as well as Farsa does give the idea that they want a team fight, and more obviously so, the farm is. So when we're looking at, okay, do we split push, or are we looking for the full-on team fight? There are two options. Xavier for team fights looking really good for the later stages of the game, and the fact that they banned out Grok tells me they don't want them to disengage. So it's going to be a bloody battle here.
But remember, because the Lolita was picked up by RRQ Akira, that actually might give them an advantage going against someone like the Faramis, who naturally you want to clump up around for that ultimate to hit. So that's something that honestly the Valley needs to think about. But first pick here for the Valley, they haven't secured a hero. Oh, but we don't know yet because Fredrin's really flexed. But has Mobazane used the Fredrin in that jungle?
I wouldn't discount him the fact that he's probably played it at some point through the scrims here, right?
Yeah.
But with the Matilda coming up here, now you've got that roam choice available to you. So I still like this. There's a lot of mobility here for the Valley, right? You have the Pheromones, you have Matilda, you can get into the action, you can escape it, right, with the Guiding Wind here. But still, the fact that you have for RRQ Akira, you also have that Claude and Lolita combination, but the Claude answers a lot of that Cold Altar pressure too, if placed properly, right? You still have to kind of dodge a lot here being thrown at you from the Valley. So really interested to see what the last two picks are going to be to round out this draft for RRQ Akira.
Yeah, I think RRQ Akira need to foresee that there is a good possibility that Kai is going to get picked up by Mobazane to actually help out. They're going to be playing around basic for the most part of it because carry junglers don't necessarily work with the composition that Akira has right now. Benedetta and as well as Xavier. I love Benedetta so much. I'm so glad she's picked twice with 100% win rate. However, it might be a little bit tough, especially with the Matilda, to help you get out of those tough spots.
Last pick here for the Valley. It's either someone for that jungle or someone for that EXP, but at this point, I think they have enough sustain. I think they have enough mobility. I would really love Mobazane to pick up an assassin here going against the Benedetta. We'll see. Oh, it's actually going to be the Lapu. So
there it is.
Fredrin in the jungle.
That's the flex, right? I mean, this is why, again, there's multiple heroes that do this for a team in the way that they draft. So I think it is a great way to do that, but you also lock in yourself a Lapu, able to jump in, can actually do the same situation that we saw with the Thamus, where you can go 2v1, especially if you get an early lead. So far, solid draft from the Valley here.
Absolutely. I think solid drafts from both sides. They have some clear strategies, and I love the fact that the Indonesian fans have adopted the Brazilians here on home turf. This is going to be a beautiful game.
Still RRQ, right? So we're going to see the same five that we mentioned earlier going head-to-head with the Valley with way more mobility in their arsenal. They do have a lot of peel, and as well as they are going to be able to maneuver around the CC heavy of RRQ Akira.
It's going to be tough here. I'm not sure. There's a lot of questions that need to be answered, but there's only one way to define it. It's through battle. Welcome, everybody. It's RRQ Akira going up against the Valley in this best of one. Good luck to both teams.
Oh, this is getting so exciting. I mean, right now we can already see that Louise opening up the map, trying to give some vision, trying to figure out Mobazane's pathing, because everyone talks about the Valley, and they always say that Mobazane is one of the main pillars of their team.
Yeah, I think, we even talked about this in Keys to Victory, right? A lot of this comes down to these two junglers here. And King being on the Joy jungle, I want to see how it plays out, right? If we're gonna have our answer at some point here, Gideon.
Absolutely. We want to see that highlight reel. Oh no.
That's already going to be the first blood drawn here by Takashi. That was a great Mystic Field.
That was an interesting movement coming in from Takashi because there was, again, he's clearing up the wave against Fried Chicken. Did he also get the gold crab? He gets the kill, gets the gold crab. He's winning on all fronts for himself, all because of an individualistic play.
And I'm quite surprised, right? Because the way that the Valley drafted, the mid lane is so strong on those rotations because RRQ because they brought in Xavier, they are going to have to wait for that level 4 to hit in order to maximize the potential damage. But even then, RRQ Akira, they've actually managed to get a point above the Valley at this point.
Notice the movements across the map here. Again, Joy and Benedetta just cutting off the waves, making sure that Fried Chicken is just going to be stranded by himself, knowing that the turtle is going to be spawning 20 seconds on the bottom side of the map. The Valley understand this, putting their pressure on that top side to maybe draw them away.
Yeah, I think this is smart moves by both teams, the way they're answering it, but still going to lead into that first turtle of the game. It's going to be up here in just a couple seconds. But you see them both. I mean, the question is, how does RRQ Akira play around with Takashi's lead that he has? Knowing that this first turtle comes up, it could be anyone's ball game, especially the Petrify's there. You've got the Electro final blow, and you're going to see them battle out for it already as both teams juggle it around. This turtle dance, Luis going to charge up the flicker in, not going to connect though. Still the fight goes on. It's going to be red treat away by King. The king of the jungle stands for now as they secure the first turtle.
No, King.
But he's going to get focused down. It's Fried Chicken to take out King.
So, I mean, at this point, it is a 1-for-1 trade. Takashi is going to be able to get out of that situation alive, but King for a turtle. What do you think about this here, Gideon?
King for a turtle, honestly, it's not the best in the world. Obviously, you would like to be able to survive and get the turtle at the same time. And especially when your teammate Takashi actually getting an amazing stun engagement onto the Valley, catching 4 people in that. Just no real way to capitalize on it. Because again, their early game heroes is literally just Takashi, and maybe even you can make an argument for Gusta Lagusta at this point. But Sagan needs to scale up. King needs more farm, and Gusta Lagusta, just keep him in place. He's eventually going to carry at 2 items.
Yeah, I feel like right now, RRQ Akira, they really are playing into the tempo that the Valley wants to create for them. You can see them already once again with the better rotations. They're much faster. They're looking to secure and maybe pressure those side lanes, and that's exactly what they're doing. Basic is also farming really comfortably at this point.
Oh, they're going to put pressure here on the purple buff. RRQ Akira going to do their best to just try to secure it, but King going to go ahead and use those beats to get out just in time. Should be able to secure it, but still, Mlbb going to park himself here. The battle for the purple buff. Luis going to charge up, gets him right on target. It's Mlbb going to be in trouble. Cold Salter plus the guiding win. There's a flicker from Hoon as well, all for the purple buff.
Oh no, that's so unfortunate. Sagan actually had a great opportunity to punish, but wasn't able to actually open up the gates there to lock him down, giving that moment, that small little moment for Mlbb to get on out of here. But now Takeshi is actually struggling against Fried Chicken. Now that Fried Chicken has all of his combat abilities ready, especially that ultimate, the all-ins could be devastating if he doesn't have his eye for an eye.
6 seconds left on the next turtle to spawn, and you can see RRQ Akira trying to set up first. We do see that Super Shark already on the way, already opening up vision. They don't want to give that early game lead that they've already attained for themselves over to the Brazilian representatives, but here we go.
They're going to start it up, looking for it. Like the final blow did come out. Who's going to secure it? It's King, but Mlbb going in as well with the guiding wind, circling eagle combination. King falls again for the turtle. It's another trade, though. Everybody low on the Valley
Shark.
as one after another fall. Luis to get the double. Hoon and Fried Chicken the backside. Not going to be enough, though, as another member's going to fall here. Fried Chicken only to stand.
Man, 3-for-2 trade here, Gideon. What the heck?
Yeah, beautifully played by RRQ. I mean, everything you could have imagined worked out for RRQ. The Valley were looking for an engagement. Did they have to go for it? I think they could have just backed away. The turtle was already gone. But we'll pull up the replay just in case you guys missed the action, and we'll break it down from there. Because number one, the position that we see from the Valley wasn't as good compared to RRQ. And more importantly, once the abilities start running on through, Takashi has already found his kill. Luis and as well as Sagan still alive, being able to overwhelm and out damage, isolating the right targets once Mlbb fell.
I mean, Luis is on point so far with these Nuno blasts, really finding the right targets, especially around, I mean, objectively, right? The Valley's going to want to contest those, but they've got to keep a constant eye on Luis, and Takashi being 3-0-1 on this Benedetta too is going to cause havoc as the game goes on. Look how confident he is. He's cutting that deep into the wave, right? I mean, it is pretty much happening on both sides, but still, the upper hand is for Takashi.
That's the beauty of the Benedetta, I guess, and we're going to take a little sneak into the emblems, but before we get into that here, Super Shark getting a little chunked in terms of that health, but I think maybe King wants to go for something here.
I think they're still going to put pressure here. Under the turret they go. Ooh. Everybody joining the fight on the top side. Electro final blow, the Petrify. Takashi able to get the double. Can't get Hoon. Mlbb a little bit too late to the party. Gets the taunt off, though, with Hoon picking up the kill. But look at the backside. It's Fried Chicken. Finds one for himself. But ultimately now Takashi going to be caught in a position of 1 versus 3. Does he still commit to it? He bobs, he weaves. Mlbb still sticking to him. Takashi should be able to survive.
A 2-for-2 trade overall. A really good setup dive for the side of RRQ. And I think Arkira had a really good idea. They should have cut their losses as soon as King was out of position. Back away. You don't need to give anything else, but the Valley's taking 1 step forward, getting and buying time for Fried Chicken to jump right into the middle of that fight to even out the score.
And now we're going to see once again the setup for the next turtle, but I saw that Gusta Lagusa already had the golden staff as well as basic now, but remember that is going to be the key item for Gusta Lagusa as once again they're going in for an engage.
They pull the trigger on Saiyan, they push him back here. Oh. They get the turret though, Dawning Light's going to come out. Turtle still work on. Gusta Lagusa though, able to grab a kill for himself, but they do trade the turtle. Nothing too much after that.
Fried Chicken is playing so boldly, running right into the middle of that, knowing that the Golden Staff is already completed, taking a good chunk of damage from the Blazing Duet, and yet he still almost picked off a free kill for himself.
1,300 gold in their hands of RQ Akira right now. I mean, at this point, I want to know, has the Valley been playing into Akira's tempo right now? But oh, wait a minute. Gusta Lagusa needs to be careful here.
Yeah, there's 3. Actually, Luis here to help him out, so this might just be a disengage. Luis, though, just there to help Gusta Lagusa out. It's going to be a poke battle back and forth. The rest of the team still in the vicinity, but nothing going to come in out of that just yet. As you were saying, Eterna.
Yeah, I just want to know what's happening here. How did RRQ actually pick up the lead? I mean, earlier on, the Valley seemed to have the tempo. They seemed to be confident with what they were doing. Are they playing a little too aggressively into RRQ Brazil?
Well, I think it comes down to the draft, right? When we're looking at Benedetta specifically, her relevance and her power, her strength in the earlier stages of game 3, level 4 is already pretty good. Unfortunately for Fried Chicken, that's not the same for Lapu Lapu. He only feels relevant as soon as he hits level 4 and starts participating in these fights with the bravest warrior. So the fact that Takashi has already enabled RRQ Akira to get this lead is already great because that was the toughest part. Now they just need Gusta Lagusa and Seiken to scale up and eventually outscale the Valley. Basic on this carry, yes, he can hyper farm and scale as high as he can, but if he can't get in range, it's still a tough game.
Yeah, I think that's the downside of a carry, right? The range. The range is a big factor here. So you really got to be careful on how your positioning is, right? Now, the Valley at this point, almost 10 minutes in, they don't have a turret just yet. So they got to be careful on, especially losing map control. They already got the Cult Altar out. So that's massive before the next Lord comes. Actually, it's already spawned. So if RRQ wants to go for it, they have a perfect time.
They can literally
brilliant.
They can literally start pulling away, allow the Valley to actually move because they've got priority on both bot and top side.
Yeah, they're going to be bobbing and weaving here. The Lord still being worked on, half health so far. Mlbb, though, he is going to be just taking the front of this damage. They're going to go on for Super Shark. Sniped down with the Dawning Light. Gusta Lagusa going in. What a Petrify from Takashi. Able to find a basic, the perfect target needed. He's going to get cut off, but Luis with a kill for himself. 3 down for the Valley. And they're still going. What a Mystic Field with King for the cleanup. And now it's a Mlbb left alive. And that's going to be the wipe out for the Valley. What a massive play for RRQ Akira.
That was insane. The way that they played that team fight was so beautiful, so textbook. And that's going to give RRQ Akira a massive lead. And not to mention this 3 Lord.
I get it now. I get it why you were saying it was like a mini Blacklist International. A lot of their macro play is centralized around one objective, one thing at a time, but covering all of your bases, making it very difficult for the Valley to keep up, even if they're just slightly behind in tempo, which is rather frustrating because RRQ at this stage of the game are breaking apart the Valley just by looking for these strong engages, and especially keeping your eyes on Sagan. His Mystic Fields have been on point.
From start to here. I mean, that's what got them the first blood, right? And this all snowballs to Kashi, but they're still going to be focusing here on the bottom side. Fly Chicken and Mlbb to be the front. They've got the Lord to handle the mid lane eventually, but they might get sandwiched in here for that tier 2. Look at the backside. Takashi goes in, forces them back, and just like that, they're going to lose more space on the map.
The front to back, the peel, the damage coming in from that backline from Sagan. You can feel it, and it makes sense looking at the items that he already obtained earlier. But once again, onto the mid lane.
Here comes the assault. Lord's going to be handled here. They should be able to clear it up as they hold on to both inhibitor turrets. But still, do they press the issue here? Another Mystic Field. The Dawning Lights have all been on point, like you mentioned.
They're just slowly cutting them down, and especially when you have Lord empowered minions, you want to take as much advantage as possible. This is only the very first Lord, so if they get an inhibitor, it's already a big win, and there we go. It's cracked wide open.
They're going to crack it open here. Luis goes in, another Dawning Light. For now, though, it's only that mid turret. You can still see the rest of the Valley. We're going to clear these lanes here. They don't want to lose any more. They're trying to hold on with their dear lives 12 minutes into the game.
They need a way to get to the back line of RRQ Akira. I mean, the damage output coming in from Sagan with the Clock of Destiny and the Lightning Truncheon alone is already dealing that much damage here, Gideon.
It's tough. It's really tough because if we're thinking about who's going to be playing in the backline to anchor and hunker down for the team, it's definitely going to be Sagan. Oh, no.
Oh, all for the purple buff again. They're going to force Zane back.
Okay.
No one there to help him out.
All right. The Valley make a very intelligent decision. Just back away. There's no need to fight right now. 50 seconds away from the Lord, 12 minutes into the game. Your biggest objective is going to be that Lord. But yes, as I was saying, Sagan is going to be the anchor of that backline. You would expect someone like Gusta Lagusta to go in and out of fights. Luis wants to stay in the middle, but then you have Takashi and King. They're allowed to go crazy. And I think that's what's really difficult to get on top of them because you have to go through multiple layers. And even if you gap close, there's a good amount of CC to keep you in place.
So what do they do? I mean, at this point, I was like thinking about it, taking a little pause there. How is the Valley going to enter that backline? Because in theory, with the draft that they had, they do have Super Shark, Big Brother Shark on the Matilda here to dive into the backline with her ultimate, obviously, and bring someone with her as well.
Well, the easiest way that they could possibly do this is to get Fly Chicken specifically on Sagan. But wait, a fight's about to break out here.
They force Mlbb back, right? But he's going to be able to heal back up here. Still the battle for this Lord. It looks like everybody from each team is going to make their way here for this fight. Meanwhile, Takashi still trying to clear that wave a little bit. Put pressure here. Dawning Light going to be committed. Now Takashi goes in with a Petrify, able to find Hoon, gets the Cult Altar out. Lord whittled down, secured by Gusta Lagusta. And RRQ Akira looking still for a moment if they can. A guiding wind to come out. Still, Basic could get cut off here. The flicker, perfect spot timing. King finds Basic as he falls, and that's just disaster for the Valley. Who trying to saving grace, but he can't. 3 down, 2 in the base here. Fly Chicken finally able to get King out, but it might be too late.
Might be too late. Oh my god, that was brilliant by Akira. Luis found that perfect moment, and now they're going to crack into the base. Only Hoon, only Mlbb is left.
This is going to be dire for the Valley. They're trying their best here, but RRQ Akira going to be taking a game in match against the Valley.
The Brazilian representatives come out on top, bringing down the Valley just a notch here with such an exquisite gameplay.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Shouts out to you, Cabral. You've done a great job with this team so far. But man, oh man, they already knew what they had to do. They had the foresight. I'm going to get into it a little bit later on. But once again, bask in the glory as RRQ and Kira have taken a game off of the Valley.
Man, I don't know if it was the marching band buff or the drum buff here, but that was quite the game from RRQ Akira here. And yeah, there might have been a saving grace there for the Valley if the game could have been drug on. But still, even with the tools they had, like you mentioned, Eterna, they had a hard time getting to the back lane.
As well, because of something that we mentioned before. Arcadia used to be the coach of Echo, which he just left recently back in July. So we're going to see how that pans out here in the drafting phase as we are going to go in it. RRQ Hoshi on the blue side and Echo Philippines on the red.
That's an interesting man. The fact that they're banning out Diggy does kind of give some signals. They want to play CC, they want to play team fight oriented comps. It does have a good opportunity that Farmus might be thrown into the mix. They might even drop, well, this is what I'm hoping for, that personally Echo wants to take it a step further and start bringing out a Minotaur, because why not?
You think Minotaur? I was going to say, I'm thinking Atlas.
That too.
Who... I can't recall from yesterday all the matches, but I don't think, have we seen an Atlas yet?
No, not yet.
We haven't, right? And usually the bane of that is that Diggy pick. So it's banned out, and the next ban here from RRQ is going to be that Joy. So they don't want to have to deal with that big question mark, right? There's going to be one ban here left for Echo. But my question is, what does RRQ want to prioritize?
I was thinking the Valentina was going to be taken out, but Echo, they don't want any counter. I mean,
they hate glue too.
Glue is a little disgusting at this point, right?
I would agree.
Really good CC, and he also has really good cooldowns, and he can basically not have to recall because of that skill 1. But now RRQ Hoshi, are they going to be prioritizing this Valentina? And if so, that is going to be a super great hero for Lemon in particular.
It honestly is really difficult because this first pick is so very important. Most people, in previous metas, we've seen a lot of flex picks coming out first, but this Valentina is going to force, at the very least, Echo to adjust their comp to make sure they don't give too many valuable ults. But no, instead...
Just as you were saying.
They're like, nah, we'll fight you. We'll fight. Take my ult. Me.
We got it. I was going to... And to build up on that, I was going to say, Valentina's a great priority pick because then the other team's going to be like, okay, we got to be careful. But like you said, no, not here, right? So rear road manipulation on both sides, possibility there too. I like the carry pickup. I still feel like one of the biggest disadvantages of the carry pickup is obviously the range, like we talked about in the previous game, So if you get shut down to the point where you can't even get into the fight, and which, again, could be another opposing real-world manipulation that makes it even harder than that already is.
Very possible,
That's troubling, right?
Of course. And I think, at this stage, now that you see Eve, do you want to pick up Suppressed? Yes, they do. Both Claude and as well as the Kaja, really smart options here coming up from RRQ. Kaja, at the very least, can lock down can lock down anybody, but more importantly, can stop the box, the real-world manipulation coming out of Eve. And obviously, you got to have a Claude. I mean, Skylar, he's going to be cracked at it.
That's the question that I was thinking, because it's either the Kaja or the Franco. And we all know Vince Franco, especially in MSC. It was always banned from him in each and every single match. But the Kaja is going to be the choice this time around. It is a lot stronger. But now we're going to see here, coming in from Echo, the next pick, Fredrin. So they want to secure a really good flex pick as well. Not really sure just yet where this Fredrin is going to go.
Yeah, so far, based on what we've seen in the pattern of day 1 and day 2, most Fredrins do go into the jungle just so that you can have your presence and at the very least be the shield for the rest of your team. But I think Echo, the fact that they're banning out the Lapu Lapu, they want to protect their backline as much as they can to ensure that nobody really gets in too deep on this carry.
Yeah, because, you've already got obstacles in front of you. But that also makes me wonder, is the Fredrin jungle, right? Or is it going to be thrown in the XP lane? Now, with that Lapu Lapu ban, maybe they want to come in with a different matchup, right, for Fredrin if they park him there. Because like you said, if he is in the jungle, sometimes you really have to play around that, right? Now, Fredrin takes a lot of damage, but it's also sometimes you have to put yourself in a not so favorable position to get those knockups, the taunts off. And how often really do you see that Prazer's Wrath pick up a kill? When it does happen, it's awesome, right?
Yeah.
But it's still something that's difficult to pull off in the right moment.
That's actually a really good point here, because when we look at RRQ, the fact is that their composition generally wants to limit what Echo plays around, right? Oh, you're looking for an engagement? We're going to shut it down. Pick one of you off and then look for the all-in at the end of the day. The Lolita gets banned out, and finally, the Hayabusa coming in from Echo.
Yeah, they're starting to limit any options for Albert here. What is he going to be picking up? But the crazy thing about Albert now is previously he was really known for those assassin types, but he's also evolved in case he wants to onto those tank or even fighters in the jungler. So with this much CC from the Eve, do you think he could pick up someone like the Martis?
Honestly, I think it'll be really, really disrespectful if he locks in Lancelot and plays Call TZ skin and wins this game.
Oh, I'd like
Think
that.
about that for
I'd
a
like
moment.
that.
That would be ridiculous if he pulls that off. A bit upsetting, of course, but the Yuzong going to be locked in.
So I think that gives us our answer where the Fredrin's going, right?
Fredrin jungle.
And I was going to say this similar concept here was that Carl TZ, known for the assassins, right? But at some point in the meta, like a lot of these junglers, they had to force themselves to learn these objective-based utility junglers, right? So again, I feel like jungle is still a very important role for all of these teams here in M4. But at the same time, what we're seeing is XP, roam, the mid lane especially, and then gold lane, the marksmen, or it's not always marksmen, but the gold lane, they shine much later on. The thing is, the trend so far is we don't see these super long games, right? I mean, there's been a couple 20-minute games, but again, how does that all play out? And look at that, RRQ is going to lock in an Akai as well as the Benedetta.
I feel like this is like an RRQ classic, is it not, Eterna? Come on. I mean, they got the Benedetta. I mean, the Akai, of course. I mean, honestly, I would have loved to see a Lancelot. That would have been great, but Akai does the job so well at pushing back the aggression of Echo.
I mean, it's Benedetta's on R7 on Benedetta, so that is a signature pick for him, in particular here in the Indonesian region. And now, what is Echo gonna, sum this up with? Because I really like that Yuzong pick initially, taking it away from RRQ to choose because they had a really strong backline in that Eve. And as a result, they are gonna be picking up a CC hero here in Kufra.
That's really interesting. I was thinking maybe some way to combo with the Eve, some way to kind of disengage.
I was thinking Atlas.
I was thinking Atlas as well, maybe even a Lolita, but Kufra I think is an interesting blend of both, right? It's still spatial denial, but the playmaking capabilities could be the difference in this game.
There you go. The two final lineups coming in from RRQ Hoshi as well as Echo Esports. Who is going to come out on top as they have brought very distinct, different type of play style in the way that they drafted and their composition-wise.
Yeah, and honestly, if they want to be playing for the later stages of the game, that's absolutely something that Echo can do. However, as we saw in our previous matchup of RRQ Akira up against the Valley, that Claude can make all the difference, including that Benedetta with a Petrify. So let's jump right into it. The Land of Dawn awaits us here as one of these teams are going to be walking away feeling real good about themselves. Is it going to be from the Philippines or Indonesia? Take your votes and your guest coins out now.
Let's go. Coming into this first game here between two of the giants of their particular regions, we see that Benny Cutie is actually going to start off with helping out Carl TZ in that buff, and therefore he is going to be able to rotate quite faster than Albert.
Whoa. What's going on the top side here? We see the Kufra actually looking for it, and he hits it.
Yeah, he's going to find Skylar here, but BMI's out. Should be fine. Vin now there to help him too. So, and this is the thing, right? Where do you park these roamers, JP and Vin, to get the most value out of it, right? Because at the same time, XP lane, that Benedetta Yuzong matchup, that's going to be more so interesting how they develop into these objectives, right? Especially the first turtle and where that first kill can be. And it could be up here. And that's the focus, but it's Lemon though. Sanji forcing the flicker out. He flickers in. Sanji with the first blood.
I mean, you could see even from the beginning of the game that Sanji was really pressuring Lemon there in the mid side. Lemon is known to play really aggressively, and this time around, it actually put his team in a disadvantage.
Yeah, this is great for Sanji as well. I mean, he's already got the mystery shop, so he's going to be accelerating even faster. Luckily, at the very least, Lemon only loses a bit, but now the catch comes through.
Oh, that's going to be tough. But they do get the flicker out from Vin, so that's a nice pickup, right? Because he doesn't have the Divine Judgment just yet, but still, with that being down, this should make it a little bit easier to grab or at least contest that first turtle.
Right now, Albert already going into that bottom side, looking for the pressure because the turtle is going to spawn in under 5 seconds, and that's exactly what they want to do. They want to set up first, and even in the top lane, it seems like Skylar might be having a little bit of a hard time with the early game damage that Carry has.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about like the timings, right? Level 2 is when Carry starts to get really, really good, but now they've already locked down Albert. Let's see how it goes.
Okay, they're going to force this one. Turtle still going to be focused. One retribution comes out, but it's focused by Carl TZ, able to secure it. And now they're still going to be focusing on the target as Albert falls here. So it's a turtle and a kill for Echo.
100% worth it for Echo there. I think Hoshi, they went a little bit too aggressive. They did set up first, but unfortunately, at least they couldn't have gotten a trade because Albert missed his retribution.
Yeah, but it's one of the... Hey, it happens. It happens. But for now, Echo is going to be in the lead, and they're going to take their time with this. This is going to be a very slow roll considering the composition overall.
1,000 gold, though.
Relax. Relax. The table didn't do anything to you, Eterna.
Gold.
Don't abuse the table. The table didn't do it.
I'm sorry. I'm getting very passionate about this game. But yes, Echo is leading with 1,000. You can already see that Benny QT has secured that corrosive scythe. So all these items are starting to come into play, and that might be bad for Skylar here in the top lane.
Honestly, it's quite interesting that JP is hovering around the top side so much.
I mean... that's the best case scenario for them. You really want to just park there. If you can find a pickoff, this is something that we were talking about previously in the backstages. Where does Kufra fit in now? It's high risk, high reward, and that's going to be the right target as they find Vin, forcing the flicker out. No one's going to go down just yet, though. Carl TZ now looking to back everybody out. There's probably not going to be anything committed just yet, but still, JP going to charge up. Do they go in on this top side? But for now, disengage.
Yeah, they have to. 25 more seconds until the turtle comes back up. I mean, the proxy of the waves started by R7. They don't want that to go to waste, but it's not going to get caught here, right? No, definitely. He's R7. He's got a brand to keep.
Hopefully. Hopefully. Still sweating here. 1,400 gold lead. 8 seconds left on the clock. But you can see Fredrin already. Seems like Echo, Fredrin, they all have that better space on, and they have the better setup for now. Either Hoshi, they're not going to contest this. They're going to look for something else. Or they have to find the proper setup here.
Yeah, they're going to have to rely on Vin, but the Black Dragon form does come out to Sanford. Albert looking to try to get the turtle. He does. What a retribution as he's able to secure it. And now Sanford caught in the back line. Carl TZ, though, to help him out. It's R7 on the hunt here. Gets the Petrify off. Can he get the kill? He's bobbing, he's weaving. He's slashing. Still, though, it's Carl TZ that falls. And that's going to be actually, R7 survives it.
Oh, wait, no. Okay, he does.
He does.
He gets away with 1 HP.
Oh my
Grandma.
goodness. I was about to throw up there. Literally about to throw up, and I could definitely see it in Eterna's face. If that Appraisal's Wrath went through...
Yeah, it was close, man.
Very different story. However, I will say that RQ, their win conditions in a 4v4 comes down to whether or not Vin is able to find that pick. Oh, no.
JP. Again, Skylar, will he be... He actually doesn't even need to use the BMI, but now Sanji up here, too. Vin gonna have to back off, does not have the Divine Judgment. Lemon, though, gonna take the real world manipulation back and now forces them to disengage. It's a cat and mouse game here in the top side.
Does not end. It really does not end. Both sides not trying to not give each other that space, and I think RRQ need to unlock Skylar from this gold lane. These are strong 5v5, but 4v4, it's really, really awkward when you don't have that damage and you're depending on R7 and Lemon, who are, especially with the heroes that they're using, aren't known to 100-0 people this early on in the game.
You gotta say, though, like, Skylar, as much as focus has been put on him from Echo, he's doing a great job. He hasn't died, right? And he does have that Purify able to help him out here, but still, so far, with as much attention as being put up there, this is best case scenario for Skylar. He's still able to farm up, do at least decently well in that lane, and then hopefully transitions later on. Again, Vin really hasn't had the opportunity either to find the Divine Judgment he's looking for. So this could be it. Conceal Play gonna come out. Flicker comes in. They find Carl TZ. That's gonna be a kill under the turret. Looking for another, but JP gonna charge up and not commit. The turtle has spawned, though. So now does RQ look to take the turtle here with Carl TZ down.
Doesn't seem like they want to. They have a man advantage though, so it should favor them in particular. But look at Benny Cutie. He is so focused on those objectives. He's gonna get a tower to the top side. But oh my god, Albert!
They're going to find Albert here. Quite a few combinations coming out. Albert going to fall, but look at the damage from the Electo final blow. R7 gets Sanford. It's Skylar that grabs the kill. Benny Cutie on the backside. He's in misplaced. Benny Cutie, though, with a play before he goes down. He's one hit away.
Wait.
Benny Cutie survives.
Oh, 2 for 2 for now, but that was beautifully done by Echo. Okay, they did have a lot of casualties, but they are going to be able to force and push RRQ off this next turtle and even perhaps take it for themselves.
The pressure is on. Did Benny QT just first item Wind of Nature to survive that with 1 HP? We're going to have to check the items in a little bit. There's just so much action happening across the map. It's hard to keep up with it this time.
I mean, there you go. Items.
Oh my goodness. Wait, having a
He
look.
has it.
Yeah, he has it.
But he had
Second
the
item
corrosive
already
side,
gone, but
yeah.
he had the corrosive side, which is actually really important here because if he did not have that corrosive side, Skylar would have easily just walked away from the fight.
Man, that is such a clutch moment to have that too, and just the way that all played out. Again, Benny Cutie able to grab that early kill does set him up here, but Skylar still, right? He's managed to grab 2 himself, so those marksmen, those gold lanes are really going to pop off as we get into the further part of the mid to late game here.
Oh, I will say that Skylar has a bit of an advantage with the golden staff, but until we see the man, the myth, the legend, Benny QT get one for himself, that's when he's really going to show his stuff here. Oh,
Finn is just waiting to see if they can. Both real world middle agers come down, but look at the damage from Sanji. Able to grab a kill. Lemon falls. Carl Teasy on the backside, though. Now on the hunt for Skylar. Pokes him a little bit, but not able to commit. The taunt's there. Vince could be in trouble here. JP, he's actually gonna survive, so doesn't have that follow-up they needed there.
No. 2 of the members from RRQ Hoshi, they weren't focused on that. They were trying to get objectives in the top and the mid lane, but now RRQ Albert, he could be in trouble as Echo once again getting another tower in that bottom side.
Again, the slow roll, this is what I was talking about. As soon as Echo was able to actually get that lead, they're going to slowly start bleeding RRQ out until they have no more resources left. And it's going to be highly dependent on Skylar to try and get to that game. But the later stages, yeah, look at this. R7, again, I'm not even worried. Look at the Classic just going at it. An absolute OG, naturally with his own mechanics, gets out of the situation. But yes, Echo is playing for late, and that's where we have to keep our eyes out for.
But even then, Sanji's already popping off with that damage. I mean, he doesn't even have any damage items per se, right? He has the frozen, the Ice Queen Wand, and he also has the Enchanted Talisman, so more cooldown, more to utility. But even then, the damage already felt, and even Lemon was taken out before that. So very well played by Echo in terms of that team fight, as now both teams are going to start centering and focusing on the next objective, and that is going to be the First Lord.
Well, I don't want to be that guy that said, Lemon's taking all that damage and died, but that was kind of on him for the most part.
Well, I mean, either way, both teams here in a good position for this First Lord. I think it's just going to be juggled around a little bit as both teams do the Lord dance, as we've seen many times before. But still, there's the golden staff pickup for Benny Cutie here. So if he can get in that range that he needs to be, this could be a very bad position for RQ to fight in.
I agree. But on the flip side here, we can see R7 already clearing that top side, putting a little bit of pressure, as here JP misses his ult.
JP's going to miss that, but Albert poked a little bit here. Black Dragon form going to come. Who does secure the Lord? It's going to be Carl Teasy with the Retribution. But on the backside they go. Electo final blow. It's R7 that falls. Benny Cutie, though, and Sanji. 2 down for RRQ. Carl Teasy still in the chase to push him out. And now the eyes are set on the tier 1.
It looks tough here. I mean, the fact is, Echo is playing as a 5-man unit. RRQ just one man, just a little bit late to the party, and even Skylar just struggling to find the opening to get into that middle, get into the middle of the fight. So they're just cutting their losses for now.
Oh my god, the pressure coming in from Echo. Now they're focusing on the mid side. They're trying to clear the waves as fast as they can because they have a Lord to cover here on the bottom side. Kyle T's going to take away that red buff as well. This is looking quite chaotic for RQ.
Oh, Albert going to get caught here in a bad position. He's going to heavy spin, try to get out of there, pushing Carl T's into the turret. Able to grab a kill himself. Albert with a pickup. They lose that turret, though. Does Echo press the situation here? JP gonna jump in, finding Albert. Rear world manipulation gonna come down from Lemon, forcing Echo back a little bit here. Black Dragon form committed. It's Albert, one hit away as he goes down from Benny Cutie. Lemon falls too. JP into the deep of the base, but R7 with a massive play. Electo final blow committed as 3 fall for Echo.
Oh my god. What was that sound, Gideon?
What a I mean, there's just so many moments.
Gideon
and it's still sorry. It's just the ad libs at this point. But like Benny QT, when you see somebody get to that level of attack speed, you don't get to see people survive it that often.
No.
I mean, just look at this. Albert, he dies. You're expecting that. Lemon dashes one time forward, takes 12 auto attacks and dies instantly.
And look at this, Vin also taking so much damage, but this is the masterpiece. R7 able to deal out so much damage there in the bot side, and even buy enough time for Araki Hoshi to kind of recalibrate themselves into this next part. But we're going to take a little look into the items first.
Looking at R7 right now, he's currently 3 items. And I think he's building into a Malefic Roar for his 4th. Looking at Skylar, he's in a good position with 3 items in and of itself. But if we're looking at supports, that's the big difference here. Because with the supports, they're building as tanky as possible, but immortality makes all the difference for a Kufra.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, the question about Kufra, you know, where does he fit so far? Because he's kind of, in a way, that hero has fallen off a little bit. But so far, JP's doing an amazing job at really finding the setups that he needs to, utilizing the Kufra here. Especially, I mean, with Sanji setting up those perfect real-world manipulations so far, Lemon's doing it too. But the thing is, I haven't seen Vin just yet exactly find the mark he does. He has the 7 assists. He's finding targets. But if he can cancel out Sanji, that's going to be a huge play for RRQ.
Okay, that's a good disengage. Nobody is going to, bite the bullet for now. And I think RRQ also understands, like, yeah, we're slightly behind, but it's not the end of the world. Sure, you want to have Lauren? Fine, we can defend against it. Their high ground should be enough for this.
They don't have the real one manipulation, but a flicker comes out. The blazing duet from Skylar. But Vin could be in a bad position. R7, though, keep an eye on him. Looking for an angle here. Electo final blow with the Petrify going to come out. He gets canceled a little bit here. Sanford still up. R7 gonna fall to Sanji, and he's still going as Lemon gonna be the next target, able to survive, but they might chase him down. He's slowed with the flicker in from Sanji to clean up.
My god, 3-for-0 trade. Echo gets the Lord. This couldn't be a worse game for RRQ Hoshi at this point. You saw that R7 was trying to do his best. The way that he does it, right? That's so signature R7. Which, whatever hero he chooses, whether it be the Benedetta, the Cho, he tries to looking for that flank, but unfortunately the follow-up damage from the other members are not there. And here we go, the siege from Echo.
Gonna be a full force siege here from Echo here. One more turret to go up on the top side. They've got to handle this Lord. Echo setting their sights on the bottom side. Carl Teasy already handling that wave. Can RRQ defend here and keep in this game? Echo now full force bottom side. Sanford comes in with the Black Dragon form. RRQ looking for any angle, but Echo calls the back signal.
Value. Just cash money all the way through. They've gotten a 7.7k lead for themselves. They don't need to go any further. No Lord empowered minions, no Lord in and no Lord as well. So they just back off. They don't need to do any more than this. They know that they're getting really close to the end game. Oh my god.
Well, they're going to focus on R7. I don't think he was expecting that death bush either.
Oh, that's so cheesy. It always works. It works every single time. Everybody forgets about the bottom and top rush, and this time R7 has to pay the price. Right now, when we're talking about this Kufra, there is, I mean, in previous metas we have seen Kufra play into the Kaja because it doesn't allow Kaja to get away after the Divine Judgment.
Oh man, Echo looking to end the game here as both real-world manipulations come down across from each other. Lemon and Sanji, still no commitment yet on that crystal from Echo.
Anybody else getting bombing run vibes just to be like, just to show dominance? Is like, yeah, I can mess with you too.
I can tap faster.
Man, 8,000 gold lead for Echo up until this point, and the damage dealt is mostly coming in from Sanji. So that's why I love the Give in this current meta. I love it because you don't have to build too much damage. You can build for utility. You can build something like the Brute Force Breastplate, but still have as much damage as all the other members.
Well, I mean, it depends on the person. I'm more of a Farsa kind of guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I like both, but Gord number one. But going back to it, did you see the discrepancy on the damage dealt? Right. You typically when you see that Valentina picked up against a Eve, you kind of expect them to be in the same ballpark, but it was a huge difference. And that's just the fact that Lemon hasn't been able to get in range to even take that ultimate or use it the way he wants to.
And that is also a big part because of the fact that they have Sanford, right?
Yeah.
That was a problem. They picked up Sanford, so even if the Valentina wanted to take the real-world manipulation, it could be a little bit more difficult because of the damage input that he's taking from Sanford himself. And on that note as well, that's the thing about Lemon, dude. That's what caught me a little bit surprised because Lemon's great when he gets it. He's like a double-edged sword for RRQ. When he plays great, he plays great. But if not, look at his KDA.
Look.
0.55.
Everybody has their day, right? Knowing Lemon and seeing his career over many, many seasons and many, many M series. Oh God,
Oh man, R7 gonna just be deleted once again. Death Bush, but this time in the mid lane, Sanford forcing everybody back. The Black Dragon form, and just like that, Echo grabs himself another Lord.
Oh, that's so brutal. This Kufra is just getting so much more value than I was expecting. I feel like now is the time to respect the Kufra. Prior to this, they should have absolutely disrespected JP. Like, what was he really going to do? And the fact that they did have R7 on Benedetta, maybe they could have made some play towards the mid lane like Takashi did against the Valley. So that's what I'm hoping to see. But right now, Echo, they've got all the marbles in their court, and they're just going to slowly lob them down one by one until this crystal breaks.
Look at JP charging up once again. Not going to commit to that, though. Lord here in the middle lane of the base of RRQ. They're going to set it up. Lemon with the real-world manipulation. JP going to go in, finds a couple of targets, but has to get out of dodge as well. It's Albert taking the brunt of the damage. It's R7 that falls again, though. Echo still pressing the situation here, looking to end the game as Vin falls and they find another. Benny Cutie free-firing in the backside, and now it's going to be the crystal work done. Echo takes the game against RRQ.
Clean from Echo from the Philippines. That was so beautiful to watch at the end. The damage coming in from that carry was just so terrifying. It was disgusting at that point.
It is. You can literally see the light wheels just overlapping each other because there's so many auto attacks. Sometimes there's two in one. You never really know. But don't worry, RRQ fans. One loss doesn't mean the end of the world. Nobody gets knocked out.
Don't worry, Eterna. No one's getting knocked out. if you heard the fist bump on the table, that was Eterna.
I'm stressing in my seat, but I gotta say that was a really well done performance by Echo.
And again, we're loading into the draft for this match. It's the last one of the day. Bans are already out, by the way, for the most part.
So quick here, going into the last match between Team Hack as well as RRQ Akira. We already see the Fredrin, the Martis, the Benedetta being banned from that side. Whereas RRQ Akira, they've opted for the Fanny and the 1-1 ban.
So fast, so crisp. They already know what they want to get rid of. And again, a lot of targets on towards flexible picks in the jungle and the EXP lane. The fact that they got rid of Martis is rather interesting, but I would like to see, because even though Team Hawk likes to play for those big team fights, there's so many easy, simple counters. Diggy, for an example, being just the end-all, be-all to team fight comps that rely on heavy engaged CC.
I like that they took out the Benedetta as well, right? Because of the Takashi game that we saw earlier. So as we get further in the tournament, you'll start to see those respect bans come out, and we're already seeing them in day 2 here. Last ban, though, from RQ Akira is going to be that carry here, who we've seen picked up quite a bit of time. And just like we saw with Benny Cutie, the amount of damage and attack speed you can build on the carry deserves that ban right now.
For sure. Right now, I'm sweating for Team Hawk. At some point, they need to lock in a hero for Panda relatively early on. Joy's still available, but it looks like Glue, of course, going to get locked in for the side of Team Hawk. At least Lola, I know for sure, is comfortable on this hero.
Man, we totally forgot about the Glue. The Glue is going to be the #1 priority, obviously, with how crazy and dominant he has been when he gets opened up, right? The amount of level of cooldown that has been taken away from him is just so imperative, and it makes him kind of untouchable at this point. So Now RQ Akira, they are forced in a position that the Valentina is open. Are they going to go for it themselves, or are they just going to go in for the other prio heroes?
I think Valentina, they might want to hold off on. Pharma seems to be a more optimal pick, especially when you're up against the glue. Although we did see day one, there were a couple of moments where it's a bit awkward. So for now, they're going to be locking in the Valentina. I think that's not a bad pick regardless, but also the Joy.
So I'm wondering if this Joy, we're going to see Joy again go in the jungle here in the hands of King. It could be a possibility. The Valentina still, I think it is a good priority pick, but you want to be able to ensure yourself that you're not cut off from the ultimates that you need. You still have to play around that like we saw in the previous matchup. And usually, more often than not, you have at least 2 choices of ultimates to take, and that's really up to you or your team on how do you utilize that, right? So again, those choices are going to be here for RQ Akira to make. But also on the other side, Team Hawk, now they've got to decide what their next 2 picks are going to be for the first phase of this draft. And there you go, it's locked in. It's going to be Dairoth, first appearance here so far in M4. And there's the Kadita, who we've gotten used to seeing up to this point.
I respect it. I respect it a lot. The fact that Glue is already locked in, we know for a fact that Dairoth is going to go into the jungle, and that means Gary is going to be quite proactive throughout this game. So RQ, they need to start thinking of ways to either slow down Gary, and that could be done in 2 ways. Lolita as a way just to, target lock stun, and then make sure you disengage with the Numenor Blast later on, or look for a more invade-heavy, priority-focused composition, looking to push the enemy back, and then invade their jungle and steal resources.
I'm thinking, right? Because with the Kadita being picked up, they are going to rely a lot on that early game pressure. They need to find these pickoffs. And before they go into the second phase, they've actually picked up the Claude.
That leaves very little options for Panda. I mean, look at the bans so far. The Wanwan, the carry, they take away the Claude. That leaves Beatrix, which is most probably going to get banned out. Leslie's also gone too. So again, the gold lane hero options are getting narrower and narrower.
But here's the thing. You don't necessarily have to pick a marksman for the gold lane. That's something that we're seeing here kind of from some teams, right? And that's the thing. Does Panda have something in his repertoire to play that's not a traditional marksman for the gold lane?
Well, here's the thing. I'm not 100% sure about that, because Panda has been known to be playing a lot of different marksmen prior to this. There has been arguments that yes, he could have been able to play jungle for himself if it wasn't for Gary, who took that spotlight, but still, it's going to be tough, because what is left open? Even if you want to play something like Hayabusa, it's a rough match when you're against someone as safe as Claude. Battle Mirror Image, I'm out. Doesn't matter what you pick, as long as I live.
Oh, really, really good ban here. It's going to start limiting themselves, though. RQ Akira, with the Leslie being taken out, we don't have the Wanwan, so what does that leave us?
Yeah,
Bubble Kuba.
Oh, yeah, we saw that yesterday.
Harris yesterday, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That never crossed my mind. Yes, Panda can actually play the Harith. I'm not sure at what level it is, and especially when you're at M4, it might not necessarily be enough. It's really up to his ego and confidence.
I feel like more so the Harith was, when we saw that yesterday, it was just a good option to play around that opponent real-world manipulation, because then you're forcing that situation where usually it's a disadvantage in that box, right? The death box, but now with the Zaman Force, it worked out really well. And you might, if you did lean towards a mage gold lane, it might be a little bit too much magic damage, where then you see that really countered with the itemization from RQ Akira here. You can see last couple bans, though, that came out was going to be the Kaja as well as the Atlas here. And right away, the Cho is locked in for RQ Akira.
Very, very nicely done. All right, so with the armor shred coming in from Dairoth, I'm thinking maybe Irithel doesn't look too bad in this particular situation. Having a lot of movement speed really helps to cut your opponents like Cho, running away specifically from Claude, and particularly the Joy, which is rather frustrating because you want to slow her down. But, you know, with her ultimate, she says, no, I'm going to keep running at you.
So what do you think about the Irithel in lane with the Claude?
I mean, we've seen the matchup happen tons of times. Claude usually has a bit of an advantage once he hits level 2, but prior to that level 1, it's all about that first initial trade. So, let's say, gold lane, it pushes into Claude, no problem, I hit level 2, then it's smooth sailing.
We're going to see here the next 2 picks. It's actually going to be Brody as well as the Hilda.
Okay, I like the Hilda pickup, right? We've seen how much of a nuisance Hilda can be, but yesterday when we had that preview, it was also paired up with a Masha. So this time it's going to be little bit of a nuisance, I feel like, for RQ Akira, especially is this Joy going into the jungle, right? That's something that they have to keep in mind. But I do also like the Brody pick because at least you can work with the space that he has and then just kind of fade away torn apart memory. But hold on, RQ Akira going to lock in a Terizla.
Learning from their brothers here. R7 brought it out themselves against the glue. Let's see how effective it is once more this time on Takashi. It might be the difference maker here. Maybe Terizla is the answer to glue. Personally, I don't feel it necessarily being that way, but that penalty zone, oh my goodness, it can make the difference with a flicker. So keep your eyes out on Takashi. If he makes that play, it's all over.
Both compositions have been set in stone as we are moments away of entering the land of dawn. Are you team RRQ Akira from Brazil or are you team Hack from Malaysia?
Man, I'll tell you what, both team compositions are actually pretty scary here, but I still want to see how this Terizla pick works. Is it going to be utilized very well alongside with everything else being thrown at them? Like you mentioned, Gideon, penalty zone is going to be a tough obstacle to work around here. So we're going to find out as we load up into the last match of the day. Group stages, day number 2 here between Team Hawk and RRQ Akira.
How are you feeling here? I mean, this is the last Malaysian team today.
Look, don't look at me like that. I'm shaking, okay? I'm already shaking right now. And I hope we don't see the proxies coming in from this Terizla because you can expect the Hilda to immediately start to invade King. Oh, whoa. They brought the whole party.
Already. Min, though, I mean, this is what we expect from a Hilda right early on. Going to force King here to get whittled down a little bit. Does use that retribution, but should be just fine here. Hold on. Gusta Lagusta on the top side. Also, it was a lane swap. There's some flippy floppy here going on again.
Oh boy, I'm imagining the entire world going like, man, Malaysians really know how to just cheese people out in these lane swaps. And yes, Brody should be able to bully Terizla relatively easy, but Terizla can just play safe, you know, clear the waves, nothing to do. But Gusta Lagusta, he needs a bit of help here, especially with the early game base stats of no way, did Man? Okay, he did it. With the base stats of someone like Lou, it should be more than enough.
Wow, okay, Gary's still going to commit on this, or is he going to back off? A lot of pressure here on King already in the jungle early on. But let's see how this all situates. If they stay in this lane. Still, though, 4 members here of Team Hawk on the top side. They grab the first blood. It's Gusta Lagusta that goes down. Can they find Luis as well? Min has to back off. He's quite low, but already first blood for Team Hawk.
Beautiful, beautiful pressure from Team Hack here. They know exactly the winning conditions for RRQ Akira, and that's going to weigh heavily on how Gusta Lagusta is able to farm. And in this early game, he's already been taken down once. They already have a lot of damage onto this tower in the top side, and they're going really crazily more onto this.
They're getting hyper aggressive here. I think they're going to proxy this wave. They might even, honestly, if they wanted to, they could have broken the first turret and traded for the turtle, but instead, they're going to run down and focus on these neutral objectives. Oh, Takashi.
Oh, Team Hawk making their way down to the turtle pit here. They're going to find the target, and Takashi falls here with the setup. Now it's Saijin here. King's still going to be working on the turtle. The rest of the team coming to join the party. Can they grab it? It's King that gets the turtle with retribution. They're going to force the flicker out from Saigon. And just like that, it's 2-0 for Team Hawk with a nice little bit of a lead. Min's got to be careful here, too. Still making the pressure for King on this purple buff.
RQ Akira need to find a way to slow things down, right? Because right now they're playing exactly into the tempo that Team Hack wants them to. And Min is so confident enough that he can go in 1v4 and he doesn't care. As long as he's able to deter the rotations from King, he's doing the perfect job.
Yeah, I mean, he understands. His only problem is, if I'm too low and then I get CC, that's when he has a problem. So he's keeping a very close eye on Luis. The moment he moves, he can tell the rest of his team where they should expect the upcoming battle, which is on the top side of the map.
Okay, they're going to focus on Man here. He takes a little bit of damage, should be able to heal back up, uses the rough waves as well. Gets out of dodge for now, but still into the jungle we go. It's Min continuing on at being a nuisance, but King's had enough. Can he get the kill? Here's going to be working on it. Lola there to help him out. Nobody goes down yet.
Tell me, I mean, everybody can say, EXP lane, it's so boring, and glue, he's not busted. Don't lie to my face. Don't you ever lie to my face. He is so unbalanced right now.
Well, he's going 2 versus 1. Gets the way of the dragon just to disengage. But yeah, wouldn't you rather see this than the Esmeralda or Uranus matchup we always used to see before?
Yeah, true. I mean, like, how many seasons did we see the Esme Dairoth or Esme Uranus?
Hey,
right?
look, as the M series historian here, I'm tired of seeing Lunox Harith. You know, that was a very good amount of a long time. Same goes to Brock, but hey, you know, in this particular situation, at least Glue brings a bit of color.
I mean, right now, RRQ Akira, they are trying to be aggressive as well, and that was kind of questionable, right? Because the last team fight that they actually wanted to go for, it wasn't Cho with level 4 yet, so he didn't have the CC that he wants, and now you can see once again how aggressive they're going, but here we go!
Gary gonna get kicked into the wall. It's King that grabs the kill here. So a pickup for RRQ Akira, and Takashi grabbing another one as 2 fall. They're gonna look for a third man on the run here. 4 members of RRQ on the hunt, and man can't escape that as Luis takes him down.
That's what I was talking about, right? They need to know when their power spikes hit. They need to know that most of the members from their team require that level 4 to have an impact in the game, and that's exactly how they are going to be able to turn it around. They need to play patiently, look for the moments, and not force anything.
Oh, just like that, another pickoff here from Luis, the right target. Min, though, gonna bob and weave the best he can. We've seen this before. He's able to escape with the sprint.
What's up with us in Hilda? We're just cracked on it. We're so crazily good on it. Honestly, even during MPLs, they don't look this good. So here at M4, these supports are really waking up to the movements, and especially with the way that RRQ is handling them. But I do think that RRQ, they're starting to adapt to this. They're slowly adjusting.
Man, that was like deja vu. Literally same pathing, same hero, same country. And just like that, another turtle going in the hands here. And Team Hawk, look at the lead that they're building, right? It is slowly but surely building in their favor. But I gotta say, RRQ Akira, finding moments just like this, it might be another kill here, but Luis, look at the damage coming out! Gary punishing him with the strike, forcing the flicker back. Now it's King there, here to help Gusta Lagusta. And just like that, another pickup.
Wow, they didn't actually get the trade kill there. Okay, good moves coming in from Team Hawk. Just fast guerrilla warfare, in and out.
1-0 trade for the moment, as we do have a moment to take a look at the items. It doesn't seem like Sagan or King want to commit onto this, so Gideon, take it away.
I'm just looking at Glue, the fact that he's got 2 complete items already on the board. He's got the most gold on his team. And then I'm looking down at Panda, who's only got 41, and he's just like, yeah, this lane swap was great.
Hey, you know what? You can call it a cheese strat if you want, but it seems to be working, I mean, for the most part, right? Now, how will that continue as the game goes on? Again, you have to look at the small lead that they've built themselves up to this point, right? 7 minutes in, they can still work around that. But still, Luis doing an amazing job trying to find any kind of pickup he can with the way of the dragon. So he's got to kind of get past this mid-man combo. King now trying to poke away here. Look at the ultimate also that Saigon has. Already forcing the rough waves. That's big. Conceal play going to be committed here. Lola, though, like you said, the front line. King, though, still going to be committing. They know man does not have the ultimate here. They're going to go in with the flicker. The TikTok play comes out. Lola still trying to survive, but it's Panda that takes out Takashi on the top side. But Min falls here in the mid lane. Lola still on the run. Do they find him? Lola can't get away. Oh, he does, though. Panda there. Now it's Luis that gets taken down by Gary. Huge back play from Team Hawk.
2-for-1 trade here for RRQ Akira, and it seems like they're going to look for more. But they do have the man advantage now to be able to go and center their focus and the neutral objective, which is that turtle.
Oh my goodness. Right now, Team Hawk, they're just slowing down the game by, again, just harassing, consistently poking at the opponent. They don't really necessarily need this turtle, but denying it from RQ is even more important.
Oh, they're just going to focus on King here. Look at the damage already. The retribution came out, too. So Gary just going to go ahead and grab that turtle away. And just like that, Team Hawk furthering this objective lead now. Focusing also in the mid lane. Might be looking to get the tier 2. Can RRQ hold on to it? So far, they do.
Oh, this is an exciting match, and honestly, with Team Hawk, the way that they're playing, again, a series of unfortunate events for RRQ. While they were actually looking for that engage in the previous fight, Team Hawk were actually opting to go for a lane swap. So they caught Lola midway into the river, while you see someone like Brody Panda just taking out the first turn, coming down to join the fight, and cleaning up what he can.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, it's just...
That sucks.
Like, what can you do?
Plain
like,
and simple.
You look at the VOD, imagine, like, Brawl sitting there, it's like, well, I mean, that's just awkward timing, right? What can you really say?
Oh, I mean, mean, on top of that, Gary now already has a Malefic Roar. So that is more so going to be shredding into the members of RRQ Akira here.
Takashi. Still, though, they're actually able to fight off a little bit here. Man on the run. Not going to find anything just yet, though. But, you know, there's focus on the right places here for Team Hawk. It's RRQ Akira responding to the tempo being set. And a lot of that has to do with, man, even on this hill, though, like we were mentioning. Let's see if they can play around this. Gary waiting patiently in this death bush, possibly. They know he's there. No one going to commit just yet. Poking back and forth here as everybody goes back. Lola, though, has to split out of there.
All right, we need to talk about the compositions right now. So, because as good as Team Hawk looks right now, in the later stages of the game, they're going to get outscaled by RRQ, Brazil, and they're not going to die this, are they?
Man has to be careful here. Still has a flicker, though. Gary going to get out of there. Luis, though, finding a target. It's Min that falls. Panda, though, punishing Takashi. Naka, they still hold on to the tier 1 turret.
Man, 1-for-1 trade for the moment, but in the grand scheme of things, Team Hawk, they are still holding on to the lead. Man, the min-man synergy, the combo that they can actually go for is insane. And you can see that RRQ Akira, they respect it a lot, right? They try and bait that out. They try to bait the ultimate coming in from man out before they try to engage onto anything. But here is the next Lord. We see that Gusta Lagusa, he doesn't have his ultimate just yet, so that's actually going to be something that Team Hawk can use to their advantage.
Absolutely. If Team Hawk get this first Lord, they should be able to get at least a couple of the outer turrets to secure a 5k goal lead. And that's important because, again, Team Hawk are playing for a very early game composition.
Well, there you go.
Okay. And Min's not even there, right? He was going to go top side. Now he made his way back down here. Lord reset. They're just trying to get out any ultimates, like going back to the keys of victory here. Whichever team is able to bait out those ultimates, they get that upper hand. Look at the positioning for King and Saigon. They're still working around. The Lord still being focused, bobbed and weave between both teams, though. They could get sandwiched in here. Panda, though, going to find Takashi. That's Gary that grabs the kill. Another flicker going to commit. Man is the one to fall. King on the retreat here. Still, again, a 1-to-1 trade. Lord still for the taking.
Honestly, RRQ is just doing a phenomenal job here at slowing down Team Hawk. They just need time, and if they have to trade 1-for-1 while Team Hawk is ahead, it's such a big win for them.
Look at that. Min forcing back King. Luis, though, another initiation with the Way of the Dragon, but he gets punished by Gary. Lord's still going to be worked on. Lola flickering out. King has to back off. He's too low. Min, though, Saigon able to grab a kill. Min to fall. Lord is still up, working by Gary. And now RRQ getting in position. Lord's going to go in and reset. Gusta Lagusa trying to focus on this tier 1. Can he grab the turret? Man taking the damage. But he finally clears the minions, and we're back to square one.
Yeah. I mean, after all of that, nobody has gotten their hands on the Lord, and they're doing this really nicely. Team Hack, they need to... I like the dancing, guys.
That's right.
I like the dancing. Oh my god, what?
He just did it! Panda didn't like it because they initiated the middle lane. Gary's going to be in trouble. And also on the top side, it's Man that falls. RRQ Akira. Hear him loud because they take him down. And now the focus in the mid lane. Tier 1's going to fall, and now the Lord for the taking.
Now that's what I wanted to mention before everyone started dancing here on the caster desk, is the fact that Team Hawk, they need to respect the damage output coming in from Gusta Lagusta because he has already reached that item power spike. The Golden Staff is already there, already dealing a lot of damage, and when they clump up 5v5, they might have a better odd at struggling. And now you can see that they've already acquired the Lord, and RRQ Brazil instantly going to be able to take away that early lead that Team Hawk initially had for themselves.
Yeah, we're going to see the replay in a little bit, but you're going to, after this, RRQ, Akira are going to start snowballing out of control. The scaling is really starting to make the difference here, and with a lot of the engagements happening in towards this mid-game to stall it out until that item power spike, it's putting a huge stall on Team Hawk's plans. They need to end this as quick as possible because at the end of the day, Panda, he has to only farm. And when even at max items, he doesn't scale as hard as Gusta Lagusta.
Oh, they're going to be looking to take out Min here as he's going to be the focus. Takashi going to miss that ult. A little bit short here, but still Min on the run. Can't get away, though, from Saigon as he cleans up the kill. Focus on the tier 2 on the top side. And RRQ just in a comfortable lead right now.
I mean, did you see the items coming in from Sagan there, Gideon? Okay,
Yep.
He had the Holy Crystal before, and now he has the Divine Glaive to top it all off.
Yeah, he's Pasagan right now. He's kind of popping off, and now RRQ Akira is going to start dominating the rest of this match. Team Hawk, I mean, they need to make some kind of glory play here to really top the scales against RRQ.
They need to find a way to take down Gusta Lagusta without a quote-unquote reliable source of CC, right? Because Man didn't opt for the Petrify. He went in for the Flicker instead, so it's going to be a little that much more difficult to pick these really core heroes off.
And he doesn't, I mean, even looking at the items, he doesn't really have that burst potential just yet. I mean, he could probably get someone half health low, but King going to be the focus here. Getting caught in a lot of CC as Gary's able to get the kill. But still, can they play around with that? Team Hawk might be looking for something. The Flicker is going to come out. Lola, though, looking to get a pull, but can't get it. Takes quite a bit of damage. Luis is there. Saigen's going to flicker in to grab the kill, but into the penalty zone they go. Takashi unleashing.
Oh my God.
We grab another one after another falls. It's a wipeout.
A triple kill for Gusta Lagusta as he was able to just dish out so much damage with that ultimate. I mean, he was basically like free hitting from the backside, and that's it. Wiped out. Is this the final moment for Team Hack?
I mean, they're cutting it down one by one, and I think this might just be it here. They have more than enough damage, and unfortunate to say, I told you so.
No.
That RQ's late game, that's what we were looking for.
Oh, so unfortunate. It only took one moment, one wipe out for the early lead that Team Hawk had set for themselves to be instantly taken back from them. Well done to RRQ Akira.
You know what's crazy? Like, how many times did Takashi, like, mess up the ult? And even, I don't know if you guys caught that, but even in the early game, right? The mishap. But the one that mattered to really turn that team fight around even to clean it up was that final moment where he landed, I believe it hit 2 or 3 members of Team Hawk, and then they cleaned up from there. And like Eterna was painting, you know, that picture of Gusta Lagusta being online, especially with that Malefic Roar being locked in, everything just fell into place for them.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if we're looking at the way the game was going to go based on the compositions alone, it follows the script, you know? If you aren't able to get that first Lord to secure that lead, the game just becomes more progressively difficult for your team that does not scale, which, again, that's why a lot of teams, if they take up Brody, there's only 2 ways of playing it. Killing spree for that early game, or they're going to go for that weapon mask to ensure that they have enough stats for the late game.